alphabetical roster, or numerical, it is alphabetical. So every time one of their players, whom we're not very familiar with, makes a tackle, we're going to have to find them. It might take us a second, but we'll give the loggers some shout-outs as much as we can. And of course, we've got our home team Red Raiders roster right in front of us, and your starting lineup is as follows. The quarterback, Damari Diedrich, number 12. Backfield, Umid Ramazov is the running back tonight, and we'll get the rest of the lineup here in just a moment as the team is out there on the field, and they are ready to go. Diedrich in shotgun formation gets it to Ramazov. He's looking for some room around the right. Doesn't find much at all. Might have gotten 2, maybe 3 yards as we missed a penalty a moment ago there. So they started this drive on the 8-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, a little bit of a handoff there. It kind of flew in the air, and the running back just kind of picked it up and ran for what he could. So it's about a 4-yard gain.
Starting receivers tonight, number 15, Michael Galloway, number 89, Austin Bradshaw, number 16, Leon Elliott, and number 2, Stephen Allen. And this ball is thrown downfield. It was intended for number 16, the aforementioned Leon Elliott, incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6, and to get you caught up on the rest of the starting lineup, the big fellas up front, left tackle number 72, Nathaniel Prado, your left guard number 73, Derek Myers, your center number 78, Aaron Erickson, right guard is number 77, Lane Adams, and number 70, the right tackle, Alfredo Diaz Rodriguez. 3rd and long coming up. Diedrich looking to pass, has a man open on the left side, catches it at the 22, and manages to get up the field to the 32-yard line, a gain of 21. That was number 16, Leon Elliott, on the reception.
Yeah, it's a well-designed play there. It's a layered trips look, and basically one of the zone defenders came up and took the shallow guy, another guy took the deep guy, and the middle guy was wide open for that gain.
Moving the chains, there are the Red Raiders, their first down of this game. And we will have to watch just how weary this Logger team is. Again, getting off of a 5-hour bus ride, getting to the stadium 20 minutes before kickoff, just barely enough time to change the clothes, stretch a little bit, and get this game underway. We have a penalty marker down there.
Looks like another one. I'm not exactly sure what this one is. I believe they're going to give them the first down still, and then just mark off the yards.
It's possibly a first down, so it will be a 1st and 10 according to the chains on the 17-yard line. Diedrich throwing a little screen pass out to the right and finding room for a brief moment was number 2. That's Stephen Allen on the reception. Gets ahead to the 22-yard line. We'll call that a gain of 5, and that brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a bad gain on first down, despite how it looked at the beginning.
Nice night here. Very clear out. Not too cold either. It's I guess we'd call it a little bit of a brisk September evening. Perfect weather really for football. And again, when you play football games in late September, you, especially around this neck of the woods, you never know what you're going to get.
Compared to Friday night, this is vacation weather, Hawaii weather. It was quite a downpour on Friday, but out here it's beautiful, it's balmy. Guys are in short sleeves and ready to go.
As I say that, I'm watching over to the right here, and one gentleman looks like he's got a robe on. So we got a little bit of everything going, right?
Yeah. You didn't know it was a robe night giveaway.
No, is that a Snuggie or a robe? I can't really tell.
I don't want to get close enough to check.
See, Josh and Todd Elvick down there, they're checking it out for us. Josh, give us a thumbs up if that's a robe. No thumbs up, so maybe it's a Snuggie. Who knows? Back to action, 3rd and 5 coming up, or 2nd and 5. The scoreboard says 3rd and 5. Botched snap, however, Diedrich puts it away, and he's got some running room, lunges forward to the 31-yard line. Picks up 10 on the mishap, if you will. Enough for a first down.
Yeah, that, again, another issue with the snap from the center, just a little bit off.
And they quickly going to get back onto offense here. They're not going to waste any time. No huddle. Got one player going in motion. That's Razmanov, the running back. Creates a trips on the right-hand side. Diedrich takes a snap, and one more time the snap gets by him. This time he just falls on it wisely, knowing that he had 3 defenders coming right at him, and that's going to be a loss of 13. Brings up a 2nd and 23.
Yeah, maybe some of the waiting around had an effect on Everett during the layover here.
Yeah, Aaron Erickson, the center, and apparently Erickson and Damari Diedrich just not quite able to get on the same page there on that snap.
Yeah, I think I just saw them bring another center in.
I can't tell from
Hector
here.
Ruiz, I believe.
Ruiz coming in and gets that snap right to him, so he's 1 for 1 so far. Ramanoff finding some room around the left, cuts it back a little bit into the middle of the field, or was looking to cut back into the middle of the field. Eluded one ball hawker there, if you will, and finally gets brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 9 still leaves them with a 3rd and long.
Yeah, they're gonna have to convert here on 3rd and 14 or so.
So 9:14 showing on the clock. We should also point out, because this game was running late tonight and because the Loggers got in so late, these are usually 15-minute quarters. They are going to play 12-minute quarters tonight with a 10-minute half. Screen pass intended for number 4. That's Bernard Brown. Brown out of Florida, and we know who. Yeah, we might have some folks watching him tonight, as we have in the past. Hey, let us know if you are. By the way, give me a tweet. Twitter handle Steve Willits, all one word, STEVEWILLITS. We know a lot of these players have family all over the country, as a lot of these players are from around the country. Love to chat with you during the game and know who's watching and give you guys some shout-outs and make sure these players know that you're also watching the game as well. And that will bring up a 4th and 15. Brings on the punt team for the first time tonight, as Lincoln Gordon, number 8, back to punt. Ball is snapped to Gordon. Gets off a nice kick, fairly high. Bounces at the 36. Return man's going to let it go as it rolls and rolls. And he's going to get this one inside the 20-yard line, down to the 19. A great punt.
Over
54 yards, yeah. Very nice. Helps to get that turf roll, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see what kind of rust the Loggers have on them here coming out after that long bus ride. Probably about 6 hours all the way over there from Walla Walla, Clarkston, Washington.
Yeah, these guys play Lewis and Clark Valley. They play in Moscow, Idaho. They play at the Kibi Dome, their home games. So right over the Washington border there in Moscow, just about 8 miles away from Pullman, Washington.
That's not a bad home venue.
It's not bad at all. Certainly, if you are at the University of Idaho, it's when you get that place full, it's quite the rockin' joint. Even if you don't, it's still you're playing in quite the atmosphere.
Yep.
So here we go. Loggers quarterback. Shotgun formation. We got trips out to the left. That is number 6 playing quarterback tonight. Mahat's Shabala throws out a little screen pass to the running back. Not a whole lot of room. Gets back to the 20-yard line. That was number 20 for the Loggers on the run.
Yeah, a little toss sweep out of the pistol formation there and try to get him out into space, but the Red Raiders were able to get up and cut that off and make him turn back into the line.
That was Nicholas Williams, the 5'10", 214-pound running back out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
I believe it was Timmy Cordova on the Everett Red Raiders also that was able to come up and make the play. I don't think he made the tackle, but he was able to make that play and turn that inside for all his friends to make.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of friends, I know this was true when we did the game in Renton a few weeks ago. The Cordovas come out in droves, and we see one down here already. We see a lot of number 43s out in the stands, so I'm sure when Timmy makes some tackles tonight, we're going to hear it from way up here in the booth. 2nd and 8, Loggers back to pass. Looking, getting pressured, and finally just throws it away. Incomplete. Again, that was the quarterback making the throw there. Couldn't quite come up, get his receiver there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, it looked like they were showing a too-deep coverage look where they was manning up underneath.
So Shabaya, 5'10", 180-pound, from Kuska, Idaho. A lot of Idaho players on this team, obviously, being that that's where the team is located. You see a couple of Washington hometowns when you're looking down their roster. Meade, Washington, Deer Park, Washington, Clarkston. But primarily Idaho, sprinkled in with a few guys from, like we mentioned, Knoxville, Tennessee, and a few others.
Just guys looking for an opportunity to play at the next level.
And they've got it right here. 3rd and 8, 7:54 to go here in the first quarter. No score from Snohomish Veterans Memorial Stadium. Looking deep. They've got a man down there. Incomplete. Intended receiver was number 7. That's Colton Parsons. Parsons being covered very closely on that play.
Yeah, it's great coverage over there. What they tried to do is they tried to ISO him on the wide side by himself and put the trips down here to the short side and sent him out in the pass, and just great coverage, as you said.
That was number 2 on the coverage. I couldn't tell if it was a 2 or 3. He had his jersey kind of pulled up a little bit, but that was, in fact, Stephen Allen. Allen staying stride for stride with him. Brings up a 4th down situation. Two possessions, one for each team, and 2 punting situations fairly quickly here. Just a little under 4 minutes into this ball game. Loggers looking to kick it, and they get one off. Bounces at the 45, almost hits Allen, gets by him, and continues to roll. It did not touch him, however, and finally stops down at the 24-yard line. Another very nice kick aided by the turf. That's going to be a kick of 56 yards.
If he catches that one, he saves his team about 15 yards of field position. They can get started earlier. He was close enough to catch it, just didn't end up coming up with it.
So each team with one possession now, and we don't have much to show for it. Essentially, it's the Red Raiders starting in just about the same position they had it in last time. A little bit better, actually. They started on their own 8-yard line on that first possession. This one, this time they're up to the 24, so maybe they're winning some of the field possession game here thus far, but not much. So, again, early in the game, Diedrich once again in shotgun formation. Hands it off, and that is Ramazov one more time. Ramazov this time getting forward to the 31-yard line, a gain of 7.
Yeah, he just had a little delay there. They handed the ball off to him. He let the defensive lineman get upfield and snuck right up underneath him.
Going to give a shout-out to Carlito Losa, who's watching us again tonight. Carlito watching for number 4, Bernard Brown, sending us a tweet a few minutes ago. Watching from Florida. We like to hear that. Welcome from 3 time zones away. 7:07 showing on the clock right now. Another handoff to Ramanoff. This time nowhere to go. Gets brought down at the 27-yard line. He's going to lose 4 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, if we thought we had a little bit of a delay starting here at 7 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock there on the East Coast, a little bit later.
Yeah, no kidding. So, Carlito, I hope you're going to watch this whole thing. If not, we'll have it up later on as well. But we'd like to think you're going to be in here for the long haul with us. Again, 12-minute quarters tonight. They've scaled those back, so it makes it a little easier. Diedrich looking deep, and there's Brown right there. Almost getting his first catch of the game. Give credit to number 8 on the defensive play there, as that was Adam McLean knocking that ball down. And the aforementioned Bernard Brown had McLean beat a little bit there and just couldn't quite get that ball to travel far enough in the air to catch up to him.
Yeah, he had the corner coming on him. It was following him in trail position, and had safety coming over the top. I believe he's the leading receiver right now for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, in both catches and yards. Came into this game with 13 receptions for 310 yards, 3 touchdown passes, which I believe he caught all in one game, if I recall correctly. Ball is snapped back to Gordon. Gordon gets off another kick. This one hits at the 42, taken at the 30-yard line, and boom, he is brought down hard. That was number 33 on the tackle. That's Levi Diaz Jr. on the play. Diaz Jr. bringing down number 25, Isaiah Sprinkle, on the return.
Yeah, kickoffs and punts, you have got to be a different breed in order to go down there and fly down there and not just receive the ball, but also to be covering.
And I stand corrected, that was Dalton Hansen, number 25, on the return. Getting it back to the 35-yard line. And a smart play by Hansen to make sure that ball didn't travel any further, as both teams using the turf to their advantage on those punts thus far. And if you're a punt returner, you certainly don't want to have that ball ricochet off you and cause a fumble, but at the same time, you don't want to give up an extra 15 or 20 yards every time.
Right.
So Shabaya in once again in that shotgun formation. 5:35 showing on the clock. Clock is already running. Takes the snap, and they've got a different quarterback in this time as he throws one out to the side. That's number 16, Robert Roth. 6'2", 230-pounder out of Lewiston, Idaho in the game.
Just tried to hit the running backs on a swing pass there. He was flanked on either side by the running backs, and they both flared out. Tried to hit him. It was a good pass, hit his hands, just dropped to the ground.
So 5:13 showing right now on the clock. 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Gorgeous night here at Snohomish Veterans Memorial Stadium. Got some mountains off to the right. Todd Elvick up here in the booth with us. Not quite as good looking as the mountains, but your wife might think so. Well, I don't know. Maybe she's into the mountains too. I don't know. But
mountain of a man.
There we go.
She chose.
There we go. It is Roth back to pass, throws out into the right flat, gets his man, eludes the first tackler, and then is finally brought down. That is number 14, Lucky Gaskell. Lucky, a little bit lucky on that first cut, not so much when he tried to make the second one. Got brought down at the 41-yard line, a gain of 6.
Yeah, another trip-layered concept there where you have one guy going shallow, one guy going middle, one guy going deep. And they left the shallow guy open. He made a play, caught the ball, and got a couple extra yards after it. It still brings up a 3rd down here.
I love the coach speak, by the way.
Do you? Yeah.
You've got the terminology down. We need to have you up here more often. Just pull you out on Friday night sometimes and get you out of the pill truck booth? No? Yes, no? Maybe?
Oh, yeah. It'd be great times. Let's do it.
So here we go. 3rd and 4 coming up from the 41-yard line.
Empty set here by the Loggers.
Yeah, 3 receivers out to the left, 2 out to the right. And we get a flag here before the play. And it is going to be a false start, so that will make it a 3rd and 9.
No reason to make it easy on yourself, right?
No, not at all. Why would you do that, right?
Yeah. Especially after a 8-hour bus ride.
I got to see who this is now. I just got another tweet. The Bernard Brown fan club in full effect tonight. And those folks in Florida, they're keeping an eye on number 4. They want to know what's going on there.
They're trying to get him the ball, that's for sure, when they're on offense.
This is Brandon Brown. I think Brandon is Brandon the brother? Brandon, you have to let me know what the relationship is there. So Brandon tweeting at us, let's go Bernard. Sure we'll see plenty of number 4 tonight. Hopefully we'll see him get in the end zone once or twice, or maybe more. He's shown that he can do that as well. 3rd and 9 coming up. Roth taking the snap. Looking deep, throws it over the middle, completes. No! Tipped and almost caught on the second chance. That was number 2 on the play. That's Joey Walton. Walton had the ball initially in his hands, bobbled it, and then had to dive for it and almost came up with it.
Yeah, he almost made a great catch on a ball that he probably should have caught the first time. He was coming underneath on the seam route from the trip side. Kind of a bunch route concept.
So that will bring up a 4th and 9, and for the 4th time tonight, in as many drives as we've had, we're going to have another punting situation. Allen back. He does have a little bit of an up man to help him with the block here. And he's going to catch that ball at the 29. No, he's not. He cannot come up with it. Ball is on the turf. Let's see if he, in fact, was able to retain possession. He was. A little bit of a scary play there as he almost gave the Loggers excellent field position. And we're still going to keep it right here. No commercials as these two teams are getting on and off the field fairly quickly tonight.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Everett and their speed of being able to run their plays really quickly and get into their sets and get going. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to gain that many yards at this point.
And Dietrich, once again, back at the quarterback position. The Kent Lake graduate.
Another empty set here.
3 receivers out to the left, one of them in motion now, and that's the one that's going to take the handoff. A little fly sweep, cuts it back into the middle. That was number 28, Nico Lira on the play. Lira from Woodinville, the 5'11", 180-pound running back / slot back. That time he did a little bit of both. Started in the slot, came across the middle there, and they gave him the fly sweep. Found 2 yards and not much more. Now it's 2nd and 8 with 3:30 showing on the clock. Dietrich takes the snap. This time he's going to hand off to Lira. Lira finding a little space in the middle before he's finally brought down at the 34-yard line. A gain of 3, which brings up 3rd and 5. So 3:09 showing on the clock right now.
Everett quickly back into the huddle here and quickly back on the field running another play.
Dietrich looking, fires it over the middle, complete.
I think we have a flag down in the backfield.
We do, in fact, have a flag down at the 31-yard line. Nice catch by number 47. That was Josiah Miller, the Wildcat from Oak Harbor.
Yeah, he's a previous running back who ran all over Wesco a few years ago.
As somebody who has covered Mount Lake Terrace football fairly exclusively right around the time Miller was in high school, I can tell you he ran all over the Hawks at one time, and we weren't the only ones.
No, he didn't reserve that just for the Hawks. That was free game for everybody.
And the Loggers are finding out that he's hard to cover over the middle. However, there might have been a little aid of a holding call there as well. It's going to wipe out the first down, brings the ball back to the 24 where it's 3rd and 14. Dietrich back to pass, looking down the field. He's got a man open. Complete. What a hit! Number 16, that was Leon Elliott, and he just got crunched.
And number 23 there for the Loggers just waited till the ball was in his hands and then just came up hard. So that's Nick Stevenson there, the linebacker, 5'9", 205 out of Weiser, Idaho. Any of you guys in Weiser, Idaho listening?
Yeah, they apparently they teach him how to hit there pretty well as Stevenson just laying the lumber on Elliott, jarring the ball away from him. That would have been a first down. That's going to bring out a 3rd punt in as many tries here for the Red Raiders. 2:36 to go here in this first quarter. We're not keeping stats up here tonight. See if we can get some for you at some point or another. But right now the only stat we're keeping is the punts, which is fairly easy because each team seems to be doing it fairly fairly often, and we know the scoreboard says 0-0.
Yeah, and I believe they've all been within the same 10 yards on each side. So each team has basically been at the same spot for all their drives.
So we're going to replay fourth down. Penalty flag coming out. Was, in fact, against the defense, so it gets them being the Red Raiders, down the field a little bit further. Still leaves them with a 4th and 9, though, with 2:34 to go here in the first quarter. Once again, Lincoln Gordon on to punt. Gordon getting this one up in the air. It's going to land at about the 39-yard line. Takes another Red Raider bounce and roll, I should say, and is finally down at the 19-yard line. Wow, that is a 21 plus.
50.
That's a 52-yard punt right there.
He's doing a fantastic job with his average, that's for sure.
Watching the Huskies in Stanford yesterday, Durkee, the punter for the University of Washington, same situation all day long. Just kept line driving it, letting it hit the turf. And I guess if you know where to hit it, if it rolls 20 yards, when they look at your average later on, it doesn't matter how far it goes in the air as long as it gets from point A to point B and where your team has to start over with the ball.
Yep. Unfortunately, you don't get any points for that, Steve.
You do not, but it certainly gets you closer to having your defense get the team closer to the other goal line, right? And occasionally the defense does score some points, and so far we haven't seen any on offense or defense tonight with 2:22 to go here in the first quarter. Roth coming up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to go under center this time. Has two backs with him in the backfield. Two receivers lined up out to the left. Hands the ball off to his running back, and his running back is brought down by Timmy Cordova fairly quickly. Might have picked up 1 or 2 yards on the play. That was number 2 on the carry. Joey Walton one more time.
Yeah, a little offset eye. They came out with the spread look and two split backs and shotgun, and then he went to under center and just did a power eye look and a lead play, simple lead play.
As we mentioned earlier, we've got a few Cordova fans in the crowd, and sure enough, when he made that tackle, you could hear a few of them up here. 1:45 to go here, first quarter. Roth one more time in shotgun formation. He's flanked by a running back on each side of him. Two receivers out to the right, one to the left. Drops back, looking out to the right, fires it. Incomplete. Intended receiver, Joey Walton, just skipped it to him on that play.
Yeah, coming out of the backfield, trying to come into the middle and make a play. Just wasn't there for him.
That will bring up a 3rd and 8. Oh, so Brandon Brown tweeted me back. He is the twin brother of Bernard Brown. So we've got Brandon watching, presumably in Florida tonight. We've also got Clay Hogard, who just tweeted us to let us know that he's watching. Mike DeWalt, watching from Ridgecrest, California, says, "Go Red Raiders," and go Mike.
All right, that's fantastic. Covering the nation here.
We got California. We've got Florida. Like I said, let us know where you're at. Twitter handle, Steve Willits, STEVEWILLITS. Roth throws it across the middle, completes it at the 38-yard line, where his receiver picks up an additional 17 or 18 yards after the catch. That's Colton Parsons making his first catch of the day. Gets tackled at the 49-yard line. A gain of 29 on the play. And for the first time tonight, one of these two teams has crossed midfield.
Yeah, it's Colton with a K if you're scoring at home. But a great play, just right across the middle. He picks up the ball and just catches it and runs for an extra 10, 12 yards.
And they finally give him a couple of extra yards out after the spot, so we're going to put it down at the 47. So give him a gain of 32 on the play. Clock now under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Still looking for our first points of the game. Roth in shotgun formation. Looking over the field. Takes the snap. Looking out to his left, rolling to the right now. Finally fires it down the field. Incomplete. Give credit to number 44 for your Red Raiders on that play. That's Joey Gaffigi from Renton, Washington. The linebacker, Johnny, on the spot, making connection with the receiver immediately after the ball hits the hands. Jars it loose, hits the turf, incomplete.
Those guys are doing a great job of picking up the backs coming out of the backfield. When you have the two backs back there, they're both releasing into pass routes, and both guys on either side are picking them up really well.
So 34 seconds to go here in the first quarter. No score. The Lewis Clark Valley Loggers Traveling all the way over from Idaho, they are wearing the the road white, kind of a golden black, very similar to the Idaho Vandals, whom they share a home stadium with.
Makes it a lot easier that way.
I guess if you can do the laundry together, and if you mix it up, you can just keep rolling with it, right? Roth fakes the handoff, rolls out to the right, throws it downfield. The ball's complete, and his receiver is brought down at the 23-yard line after a gain of 24 yards.
He fitted it right into a nice tight window there. The one guy was looking at the player that was up from him, and the other guy was trailing, and he fit it right in there. It's an excellent throw.
Yeah, Lucky Gaskell, number 14, the 6'1", 190-pounder. Another first down for the Loggers, another big first down. That's the second play of over 20 yards that they've had this quarter. Puts them almost in the red zone as they're at the 23-yard line. Clock right now showing 10 seconds to go. Don't see the Loggers hustling up to the line of scrimmage, so I'm going to assume this will probably be our last play of the quarter. Now showing 1-0. So we're going to take a quick break, but our score from Veterans Memorial Stadium up here in Snohomish, the Everett Red Raiders 0, the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers 0. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
We all want to protect our gift of sight, which is why regular eye exams are so important. Regular eye exams not only allow your optometrist to improve the quality of your vision by changing the prescription of your glasses or contact lenses, but also to assess your overall eye health. Even if you see clearly now, it does not mean your eyes are healthy or won't change over time.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium up in Snohomish, Washington. Just a little hop, skip, and a jump to the north of Seattle. Steve Willits along with Brian Big Wheezy Horn on the call tonight. 0-0 game going into the second quarter.
Yeah, we have Lewis and Clark Valley that was driving here. The first drive for either team that's been of any note so far.
Yeah, and picking the yardage up in big chunks, too. Not exactly grinding it up the field. 2 long passes have gotten them here. The running game not doing too much tonight thus far for either team. However, Lewis and Clark Valley now finding their passing game working. Roth is going to dump it off. Finds his receiver over on the left-hand side, who then gets forward for a first down, a gain of 13 yards. That was, this will be a fun one. Anthony Guglioza, the 6', 180-pound wide receiver from Sugar Land, Texas. Sugar Land, Texas is not a hop, skip, and a jump from Moscow, Idaho. And
no, I'm sure there's probably a lot of interesting stories of how all these boys got to where they're at. Again, playing the game for the love of the game.
And he picks up a first down on his first catch of the night. 14-yard line. Loggers looking for the first points of the game. Clock now showing 11:29 to go here in the half. He's got 3 receivers to the right, and that's where he's going to go. Incomplete. Just overthrew his intended receiver. That was number 9, Connor Emmel. Emmel is a 5'10", 175-pound wide receiver from Lewiston, Idaho. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Lewis and Clark here seems to be shaking off a little bit of the rust from that long bus trip and maybe trying to punch it in the end zone here for a score. A couple big boys up front as well.
Boy, and apparently Damari, our quarterback, Damari Diedrich, and we'll get back to this one in just a second here. 2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line. The tweets are coming in, Wheezy. We like this.
Yeah. A little interactive.
Absolutely. Roth rolling out to the right, looking back towards the middle, and he's finally going to put it down and keep it. Does pick up maybe a yard on the play. Give credit to number 9. That was Joseph Hopkins coming over to make the tackle, keeping him to 1 yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Not a designed run. He just rolled out and they didn't have anything there. They lined up in a 5 wide receiver set, which is generally a decent formation to run because a lot of the guys are all spread out. But he was rolling, looking for his guys in the end zone and just couldn't find anybody and ran out of time.
Got Noah Valesi letting us know, I hope I pronounced your name right, Noah, that he is watching the game in Samoa, and he is rooting for Damari Dietrich tonight.
All right, we saw the haka before the game too. I saw it.
So we are all over the place. In the country, out of the country, East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, we're import-export here.
We're doing our best here. Anybody watching the game locally? Maybe we'll find that out as well here in a little bit. As Roth looks around, he's going to throw it into the end zone. Incomplete. The intended receiver was number 14, Lucky Gaskell, just out of the reach of Gaskell as dove to his left to try to come up with that ball. Could not. And we're going to find out if this team, in fact, wants to try a field goal or if they're going to go for it on 4th and 9.
Yeah, Gaskell was doing a corner route there, and the ball came in a little bit with a little less air in it than it should have because he had open space in front of him. He just lead him a little bit more and dropped the ball in there in a better arc, and that's 6 points.
We've also got Lennox. I hope I'm doing the name right as well. Let me know if I'm not. Saying that Lennox is watching brother Stephen Allen, number 2, and says, my brother is a beast. Stephen has looked pretty good out here so far. Let's see what this team can do. 4th and 9 coming up on the 13-yard line. First down markers at the 3. Roth is looking, throws it into the end zone. Touchdown. Number 2, Joey Walton coming up with it. Just ran a little route over to the right-hand side. 5 yards into the end zone. Roth finds him, and we've got a 6-0 ball game.
Yeah, he simply ran like he was running a post at a post corner and found himself wide open as a DB wheeled around to try to get the coverage on him, and the quarterback just fit it in there just nicely.
So number 3, this is Cameron Vandenberg, the kicker on for another Lewiston, Idaho. I don't keep mentioning the same player over and over. I know I've said Lewiston, Idaho a few times now. They've got a handful of those guys. Lewiston not too far from Moscow. Kick is no good. However, there is a penalty marker down.
I think we found out why they didn't go for the field goal.
Very well done. The kick was missed. However, it was a false start. The Red Raiders decline it, and our score is 6-0 with 10:30 to go in the second quarter. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
And we are back again. 10:30 to go here in the first half. 13-yard touchdown pass from number 16, Robert Roth, to number 2, Joey Walton, and that is all of our scoring this far tonight. 6-0, the Loggers over the Red Raiders here at Everett. I keep wanting to call it Everett. It is Snohomish Veterans Memorial Stadium.
And we have Stephen Allen back, so all you Stephen Allen fan club members, get ready, because here's the ball's kicked off.
Oh, and unfortunately, Lennox, you're not going to see Stephen Allen as that ball is kicked short. And they kick it to the running back. That's Umid Ramazov, I should say. I don't know, if you're going to kick to one of the upmen, don't kick to the starting tailback. That's my philosophy anyway, but they did in fact kick it. It worked in this case. They only picked up a couple of extra yards, but a lot of times you'll get the linebacker types in there that aren't used to running with the ball. This guy here, he's, well, let's just take a look here real quick. He already has 216 yards on 34 carries, so maybe not the guy you want to kick to, but it worked.
Yep. You want to try to avoid him at all possible here.
And as soon as we say that, Umid gets a shout out here on Twitter as well, as we'll get to him in just a second. That is not Umid. That is number 28 on the carry. That's Nico Lira one more time. Lira punching the ball forward, might have got back to the line of scrimmage. Ball's going to stay at the 35-yard line. And it looks like we have our second quarterback of the night in the ball game. This is Robert Calloway, 6'1", 175-pounder. He's from Rainier Beach High School. Started the first game of the season before he was injured down in Arizona, and now he's getting a little playing time, and he's going to fire the ball right off the bat, and his receiver gets drilled. That is number 47, Josiah Miller. Unfortunately, Callaway left that ball floating a little too high. Miller had to go up for it, and he just got a shot to the rib cage. He'll feel that one tomorrow.
Yeah, the safety just came over and laid a lick on him. But this quarterback here, I believe, is a bigger threat to also run the ball besides being able to just pass the ball. He's got some wheels on him.
Yeah, we saw that in the first game of the year that we covered. He's got some serious wheels on him and will not be afraid to run if need be. But he doesn't have to on that play as he completes that one right down the middle. That was Leon Elliott. Nice catch and pass. Callaway putting it right where it needed to be. Elliott making a beautiful play on it. A gain of 21 yards. And for the first time tonight, the Red Raiders are in Loggers territory. Nico Lira once again in the backfield. And he will take the handoff right up the middle, finds a little bit of room, dives to the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, brings up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, it's the defensive linemen there that are just getting a lot of penetration. And against the run, you don't want to necessarily get that much penetration. You just want to play the line of scrimmage. But they're trying to get upfield and get after Callaway, and he was able to sneak right underneath him.
2 receivers out to the right, 2 to the left. He's going to throw a bubble screen. Trying to get one out to Brown up there on the right. Skips it to him.
I believe it was tipped by number 18 for the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers. Looking at my handy-dandy roster.
the roster that is in alphabetical order, so we have to look for it here real quick.
That would be Brandon Burlick.
Burlick, a 6'1", 175-pound linebacker. A very light linebacker compared to a lot of the guys on this field. Looking to go towards Brown one more time.
That was Burlick again, putting a little pressure on Callaway. He was rushing from the outside. He made an upfield move and then cut right underneath and did an under move and put a little pressure on Callaway. Got rid of it sooner than he wanted to.
Brings up a 4th and 6 on the 39-yard line. I think the coaching staff here is thinking they might be in somewhat of no man's land territory. You're too far away to kick a field goal. Figure you're already down this far. You might as well give it a shot, and they're going to go for it here. First down marker on the 33-yard line. Callaway getting blitzed, spun down to the ground. And we just called his name 2 other previous plays. It's Burlick.
Yeah, he might be a little light, but he's pretty dang quick, and he's coming off that edge and just doing a double move on the tackles where he's going upfield and then dipping underneath, and then going outside. And he's just getting to the quarterback real quickly there.
Yeah, so not only did they prevent the Red Raiders from getting the first down, also threw them back for a loss of 6. So if you're the Loggers, you've got to be feeling pretty good about this. You have a 6-0 lead with 8:57 to go in the first half, and you have the ball on your own 46-yard line. Best starting field position you've had all night so far. Roth once again with 2 running backs next, and we've got some movement on the line there. 2 45s, 1 on each side, both moving on the play. It's Richard Mathern, the tight end from Clarkston, Idaho, for the Loggers. Also number 45, Tyler Gamble from San Diego, California. We'll see which one of the 45s are going to call this on.
I think, yeah, they're saying it's on the defense. They're drawing the offensive player offsides.
Gamble getting called on the play. It's going to give the Loggers another possession on this side of the field.
1st and 5.
1st and 5 coming up on the 49-yard line. Roth in shotgun formation one more time. Changing up the play here. He's going to get under center now. Going with a little power eye. It's number 20 in the far back. And that's who he's going to hand it off to. Looking for room and not finding much. And that was number 20 on the carry. That's Nicholas Williams one more time. Williams being brought down by a handful of players, including Richard Ramsey, number 1. Cornerback stepping up to help. I believe that might have been, was that Cordova on the tackle as well? 42 was in there. I think Gabriel Collins was also in on the play.
Just a simple eye play there, just trying to run some more lead on them. They haven't been very successful the 2 times they've ran it so far.
No, really, all of the Loggers' yardage coming on the passing game thus far. Trying to be a balanced offense here. They've been running almost as much as passing, but the running game just really getting stalled every time they try to get it going. We'll see what they do here. They've got 4 receivers out on the field. 2nd and 5. Roth has trouble with the snap. Finally comes up with it. He's getting rushed. Completes the pass. This receiver is going to try to fight for the first down. I'm not sure if he picked it up or not. It's going to be very close.
They're going to call it a first down right there.
It's number 9, Connor Imel coming up with the catch, and Imel, who caught that ball about a yard away from the first down marker, carried a couple of Red Raiders on his back for that extra yard. Just getting to the markers, gets to the 44-yard line.
Basically a sticks route there where you just tell him to go to the first down marker and sit down. He just looped around the linebacker once the linebacker dropped into coverage and sat right next to him.
So Roth with Nicholas Williams in the backfield with him. Got trips out to the left, one receiver out to the right. Clock running, 7:37 to go in the half. Loggers with a 6-0 lead and looking for more. Fake the handoff. Roth dropping back even further, looking way down the field. He's got a man. He's had two men, actually, and threw it right in between them. That was number 2, Joey Walton, who had the first touchdown earlier, along with number 19, Jarrett Goslin. Goslin and Walton both having the Red Raider defenders beat. Just neither one of them could come up with it.
No, that dropped right in between both of them. That's almost one of those tennis shots where you're playing doubles and it goes right in between it and you both look at each other and go, I thought you had it. Because I think either one of them could have came up with the ball. It wasn't that far off from either one of them.
Boy, and if either one of them catches it, it's going into the end zone, as they had the Red Raider defenders beat by a good 5 or 6 yards on that play. Brings up a 2nd and 10. A tennis analogy. That was our first one of the night. Nicely done.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll be referencing all sports. Rugby's up next.
Are you a doubles tennis player?
No. If I am, then it's singles for my partner.
I wasn't going to be too cruel about it, but I let you go there. It's self-deprecating humor. Why not? Roth takes the pitch, or I should say pitches it to his running back. That's number 2, Joey Walton, on the play. Walton gets forward for a gain of about 2 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Walton's getting a lot of work here. He's got to the backfield, he's down the field as well. There's just a simple pistol toss, try to get him to outflank the defense there.
Yeah, not only was the last pass intended for Walton, it was about 35, 40 yards down the field, so certainly no time to catch your breath if you're number 2. He's right back at it again, 3rd and 9.
As we say that, I believe he walked off the field.
I just looked over there to see if I could see him on the field, and he's not there. So, yeah, he is getting a breather on this play. Trips out to the left. Roth in shotgun formation one more time. Clock showing 6:45 to go here in the half. First down marker at the 34-yard line. Roth fakes the handoff, drops back to pass. It is sacked. That is number 42, Gabriel Collins. Collins from Samoa on the play, and we get 2 penalty markers thrown simultaneously. That will be a 4th and 11 before the penalties. We'll see who gets called on that one, and if it is, in fact, on the Red Raiders, they've just given the Loggers a free first down.
It looked like Roth had locked onto his ISO wide receiver here. Again, they'd done this earlier in the game where they put the trips into the boundary and they had one guy ISO'd on the wide side and basically tried to drop it in between the corner and the safety. And he looked that way, but there was good coverage on him. He wasn't able to get the ball off and enough pressure where he diverted his eyes and got sacked.
And they do call that against the Red Raiders. That is the worst kind of penalty you can have. You sack the quarterback for a loss. You create a 4th and long. And then after the play, while you're celebrating, you give them a 15-yard personal foul and an automatic first down. When you're in a tight game like this, that's the last thing, if you are Coach Dennis, that you want to see out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not exactly sure who that was on, but obviously a personal foul, first down, and negates the great work the defense put in there and getting that sack.
And you give the Loggers a first down in prime position here. They're on the 31-yard line. They've already got the 6-0 lead. They're looking for more right now. And points are not going to come easy tonight. This is the last thing you want, is to go down at the half by double digits, and that might be happening unless they can come up with a big stop. And the very next play, that's number 20, Williams, with a nice run along the left-hand side. Picks up 9 yards, gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, toss to the trip sides, outflanks the defense, and it gets downfield. And actually made a nice run there. There's a couple of nice hits on him as well. But he was able to persevere, and he's now brings up a 2nd and 2.
Williams is a load. He's 5'10", 214 pounds, and looks like he's got a little speed there as well. When you get that big body moving that quickly, it's going to take more than one open field tackler to bring you down more often than not.
That's inertia, Steve.
That is serious inertia right there. Well, you're about 214, right?
I used to be.
Once upon a time?
Yeah.
Can you move like Williams, though?
I used to.
Used to be. Okay, fair enough. So we have 2nd and 1 coming up. Clock now showing 5:09 to go here in the second quarter. Loggers in the road white. Up 6-0 already. They're looking for more. Roth looking to the right, throws it across the middle. He's got a man wide open. Easy touchdown. The Loggers, number 9, Connor Imel with a 21-yard reception. It is now the Loggers 12, the Red Raiders 0.
Yeah, they've been able to get a few yards here, but every one of their yards seems to be coming in when they're splitting the defense, the safeties down the middle. They're able to create some conflict with those safeties, and the safeties are going to either side, and they're able to sneak a guy down the seam to get the ball right in the middle.
So 2 touchdown passes here in the second quarter, and that is the only scoring we've seen thus far. The Loggers not able to come up with the point after touchdown the first time, so this time they're going to try to make up for it and go for 2. 4:55 showing in the first half here. Got trips out to the right, one receiver out to the left. Number 2, Walton in the backfield with the quarterback, Roth. Roth dropping back, looking around, fires it into the left flat, and Lucky Gaskell makes the catch. The 2-point conversion is good, and with 4:55 to go here in the first half, the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers, the visiting team, with a 14-0 lead over your Everett Red Raiders. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
That was beautiful. It's basically, yeah, it's great.
And here we go, back again, 14-0. The Lewis Clark Valley Loggers over the Everett Red Raiders. Let's see if they keep this ball away from number 21 this time. Umid Ramazov, one of the up men on the right-hand side. And speaking of which, give another shout-out here as Ramazov has Madison Murphy watching, who tweeted "Go Umid" earlier. So having said that, this ball is kicked away from him, and that's number 24 on the play, Tyler Walton. Walton looking for some room along the left sideline. Doesn't find too much, but does get the ball over to the 31-yard line. And that is where the Red Raiders will start this possession.
Yeah, that last possession by the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers just prolonged based on that personal foul. You got to be looking at that thinking, hey, we could have gotten off the field. And you're unable to get off the field because of that. And that's just a difficult blow to take.
So not much room for the Red Raiders here thus far tonight. Their best possession of the night, however, was the last one. That was the first time that Robert Galloway was in at quarterback. Galloway was able to get the team moving a little bit before they turned it over on downs. Let's see if he can give them a little more of a spark again with 4:51 to go in the first half. They need it right now. They're down by 2 touchdowns. Galloway, this is a planned running play from the get-go. He looks for room out to the left, cuts it back, finds nothing. And once again, Brandon Burlick, who just seems to be all over the field on the defensive side of things for the Loggers, coming up with the big tackle, a loss of 2 yards for the Red Raiders.
That's a great pursuit by him because he starts over on the other side of the line, on the other side, on the right side for the offense, and makes his way all the way over to the left side and makes the tackle in the backfield.
So the 29-yard line is where this play will start. 4:20 to go here in the half. Red Raiders not finding the going easy here tonight so far. Hand off to Lyra. He's going to try to find some room up the middle. Doesn't find much. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Brings up a 3rd and 10.
That's Burlick again, just knifing down the line, making a play. He's really, his speed is being a problem for the offensive lineman at this point.
Tell you what, if anybody over at the I don't know where Burlick wants to play, but this team shares a facility with the Idaho Vandals, and Burlick already looks good in the gold and black, right? He's already got him ready to go. What if those coaches are looking at this young man? Galloway's going to throw deep to Brown along the right-hand side. The ball bounces off of the defender, briefly hits the hands of Brown, and then ricochets over towards the track and out of bounds, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, again, another cover 2 beater there, trying to get it in between the safety and the corner and drop it in there. That corner was a little bit behind him, but was able to get his hand up and knock the ball out of the way.
And that's a tough ball to come up with. It did, in fact, hit Brown in the hands, but anytime the trajectory of the ball is changed at the last second like that, very tough for a receiver to come away with that one, and Brown just not able to hang on to it. And once again, the punt team is out on the field for the Red Raiders with 3:39 to go in the half. Gordon gets off a nice kick, fielded at the 31-yard line, and brought down immediately.
Yeah, that's a 40-yard punt as opposed to the 50-plus yard punts that he's been used to. The difference there was he actually caught it on the fly as opposed to letting it bounce.
Yeah, nice job by the coverage team there as Joey Walton, number 2, fielded the punt and didn't have much room and didn't have anywhere to go. 2 or 3 Red Raiders meeting him on the play. $3:32 to go here in the half. If you are the Red Raiders, the last thing you want to do is give these guys another score. Loggers get the ball first coming out for the second half as well. I think at this point, if you're the Red Raiders, you would happily go into the half down 14-0. You don't want to make it worse. As Roth takes that one under center, and we've mentioned it all night, they are not able to run at all. We had a few different players in on the tackle on that play.
45 and 43. Yep. That's Timmy Cordova and Tyler Gamble, is that right?
Yeah, and that's LaFalle Collins as well who made the tackle. That's Collins is the brother of Gabriel Collins, so 42 and 22, both out there on the ends. And
yeah, it's just the running back went to go in his hole and there's nobody there, so he tried to bounce it out, and that was a bad idea.
Yeah, this is a very, very tough defense up in front there for the Red Raiders. They are not giving up any room on the run tonight. It's the passing game that they've struggled with. I think we might see a pass here as it is now 2nd and 12 with 2:45 to go.
A little bunch down here to this side. Watch for the bunch route concept. One guy going in, one guy going out.
And they don't have a chance to do anything with it as Cordova shot through initially, missed, but Tyler Gamble was right there to clean it up. Brings Roth down on the 26-yard line. Whatever the play call was, they never had a chance to run it from the get-go.
No, his receivers didn't even turn around. He was on the ground. Roth a little slow getting up there as well.
And we do get a timeout here. We'll take a quick break. 2:27 to go in the half. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
We all want to protect our gift of sight, which is why regular eye exams are so important. Regular eye exams not only allow your optometrist to improve the quality of your vision by changing the prescription of your glasses or contact lenses, but also to assess your overall eye health. Even if you see clearly now, it does not mean your eyes are healthy or won't change over time.
I'm just saying hi. If you're listening. And we are back again. 2:27 to go here in the first half. The Loggers 14, the Red Raiders 0. 3rd and 15 coming up for the Loggers. Red Raiders needing a big stop here, possibly a chance to get the ball back and maybe put up some points before the half. But first, they need to prevent the Loggers from getting to the 41-yard line on this play. Robert Roth in shotgun formation, drops back to pass. He's looking over the middle, and he throws it complete. Gets his receiver at the 46-yard line. Finally tackled at the 47, a gain of 20. And once again, that is Anthony Guglioza. I think he just likes to catch that ball to make me say his name, and I'm probably still butchering it, but that's okay. But Guglioza from Sugar Land, Texas, makes the catch and gives the Loggers a very crucial first down here.
On behalf of Steve, I'd like to apologize to all the Gugliozas out there. But he's having a good night so far tonight.
So far, the Gugliozas haven't texted us, so I guess if I am messing it up, nobody's noticing back home in Sugar Land, Texas. But the night is still early. We'll see. 1:58 showing here in the first half. Loggers looking to get over the midfield stripe right now. Roth dropping back, steps up. Cordova gets his hand on it initially. Gamble finally does, and they're going to call him in the grasp, and that is a fortunate thing because Guglioza has the ball down the field as he was able to catch that, but not before the referees blew the whistle. And we saw that one other time earlier in this drive where Cordova or Collins, whichever the case may be on either play, shoots through the gap, slows Roth down, and then number 45, Tyler Gamble, comes through and finishes him off.
They've actually done a fairly good job on first and second down. It's just been 3rd and 4th, and a lot of it's been just over the middle stuff, splitting the safeties in half. I haven't seen any out routes completed, maybe one trips layers type routes, but most of the stuff they've been trying to do is right between the hashes.
So here we go, 2nd, and I believe that is 16 right now. The scoreboard showing 1st and 10, but that is not correct after the last sack. 1:12 showing on the clock. We want to remind everybody it will be a shortened halftime tonight. since the game was delayed, will be a 10-minute half, so do not go very far when that time comes. Roth dropping back, throws across the middle, completes it to his receiver downfield. Very nicely done. That is number 25 on the catch. That's Dalton Hansen down on the 39-yard line, a gain of 14 yards. Roth showing a very powerful arm there on the play.
Yeah, he's using a bevy of receivers as well. I think that's like the 5th or 6th guy he's actually completed a ball to.
Timeout, Lewis and Clark.
And Lewis and Clark is going to call a timeout. 52 seconds to go here in the half. We're going to take another quick break. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network. And here we go, back again, 39-yard line. That is where the Loggers are. 52 seconds to go in the half. They currently lead the Everett Red Raiders 14-0.
Definitely trying to get another score here before halftime. When they come back out, they're going to get the ball as well. It's an important stop for Everett coming up.
And they are looking at the end zone here eventually as Roth throws that one incomplete. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. We did see the PAT attempt earlier. It does not appear to be one of the strong suits of the Logger games, so certainly well out of field goal range at this point. They do have 48 seconds to go. They do have 2 timeouts remaining too, so there's not a huge rush there, but if you're the Loggers, I think you need to get at least 25, 30 yards downfield before you're thinking field goal.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to bring out the field goal team at all. I think they're going to rely on Roth and his bevy of receivers to get out there and make a play. I look for something over the middle here at the 5 wide set.
So here we go. Trips on the right-hand side. Roth fakes the pass. Rolls out to the right. He's going to finally fire it way down the field. Complete. No, it is not. Nice attempt by number 14. That was Lucky Gaskell going up for the ball. And give a lot of credit to number 8, Lincoln Gordon. Gordon coming over and making the stop on that play. By the way, I just realized something here. We don't have a lot of them, but there are a few doubled up uniform numbers. I've mentioned Lincoln Gordon a few times tonight as the punter. I think it is actually John Higgins, the other number 8, that is the punter. But Lincoln Gordon, will finally call his name there, and rightfully so, came up with a huge, crucial hit on Gaskell to knock the ball away and bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, he looked open, but he closed quickly and separated him from the ball.
So 41 seconds to go here in the half. I would assume the Loggers are in 4-down territory, so they might have 2 shots at the 1st down marker. Trips to the left, 2 receivers out to the right, empty backfield. Roth takes the snap. He's looking over the middle once again, fires it over everybody's head. Stephen Allen, the defender, the closest to the ball.
We got an offensive lineman down there, I think, with his helmet off, laying on the ground, and Roth again slow to get up.
Yeah, Roth looks like he took a pretty good shot on that play. However, he is up.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of body blows, that's for sure, in this first half. I mean, they've been laying him down and doing that. He's been able to get rid of the ball for the most part and make plays down the field, but he's taking a licking.
And by the way, Carlito Loza, who is watching the game on behalf of, we'll keep it right here for this timeout, Bernard Brown, so Carlito watching the game in Florida, he says you should be coaching the defense tonight. He's liking what he's hearing from you, and so maybe we'll have you dial up a play here on 4th and 10 and tell us what we should be looking for.
Well, I do coach the defense actually in my other life.
For a pretty darn good team, I might add, right? The Marysville Pilchuck Tomahawks, who were ranked number 4 in the state for a while there until lost number 3 in the state. I take that back. So you're doing okay with your high school game, right?
Yeah. Last night or Friday night, forgive me, we gave up I think a total of 30 yards of offense, so that was pretty good. But
that's not bad, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing that, and it's a lot of fun doing this and seeing you, Steve. And
by the way, I should give another. See, we like this Twitter thing, so keep them coming, guys. Again, Twitter handle Steve Willits, STEVE WILLITS. Wheezy, what's your Twitter handle?
Oh, it's @big_Wheezy. That's Wheezy with 2 E's.
Spell Wheezy.
WHEEZY.
So there we go. So give a shout out there. Clay Hogard Says that Clay watches number 49. We already mentioned that earlier. That's Michael DeWalt. Also watches Malik Braxton when we do the high school games. Braxton from Meadowdale, a great player who I've had a chance to cover many times the last 2 years. He played on this very field on Friday night and came up with a big win for his Meadowdale Mavericks as they defeated the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. That's another story. We'll get to that in a minute. Roth throwing over the middle, no, over to the right, and completes it. That is number 7, Colton Parsons, coming up with the catch.
Yeah, they kept him in bounds. He made the catch, but there's another flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. Late flag, I might add as well. Looks like it's against the Red Raiders again.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Red Raiders.
They've been their own worst enemy, to tell you the truth. They're keeping drives alive for the other team here.
Well, and that one didn't keep a drive alive as the ball was complete. That's just going to add on to the end of the play, and that's going to make it even worse. So we wait to see where they're going to march this ball off at. In fact, it is right now sitting on the 7-yard line with 28 seconds to go. And not only that, if the Loggers want to try to maybe catch them off guard and run the ball, they do have a timeout up there on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, however, I do believe they're still not in field goal range, despite how close it may seem.
I'll tell you what, if you're up 14-0 and it comes down to a field goal, though, I think you'd like to get that 3-possession lead, right? So we'll see. I mean, I'd be curious if they throw a few incomplete passes here, if they're on the 6, if they might consider the field goal unit coming onto the field. But I think if you're them right now, you don't even want to have to contemplate that. You want to try to punch it in within this next 2 or 3 play.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to here. They brought a running back into the backfield this time as well. They've been going empty the whole time.
So here we go. 28 seconds to go in the half. Williams in the backfield along with the quarterback, Robert Roth. He's got 3 receivers out to the left. As number 7, Parsons lined up by himself out to the right. Clock starts back up. We're showing 26 now. Roth looking over the middle, has all the time in the world. Fires it into the left flat, incomplete. Ball was intended for number 2, Joey Walton. Only took 6 ticks off the clock, so we're showing 22 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, he kind of short-hopped him there. I don't know what happened there. I didn't look like there was too much pressure, and they just threw the ball into the ground just slightly in front of his receiver.
So 2nd and 10 at the 6-yard line. Boy, that reminds me, I'm still thinking about that Meadowdale Glacier Peak game. That was a heck of a matchup coming into it, and the Meadowdale Mavericks, one of the top teams in the 3A South this year, jumping out to a 23-0 lead in that game and cruising to the 30-19 victory. Fun football around here in West Coast. So if anybody locally is listening, you're not doing anything on Friday nights, get out to these games, support these teams. You're missing out on a good time if you're not. Here we go, 2nd and 10 at the 6-yard line. Roth in shotgun formation again, fakes the handoff, is going to roll out to the left, being pursued, finds Gaskell in the end zone, just overthrows him. Had Gaskell open, just couldn't quite come up with it.
Kind of faked the handoff there and booted out to the wide side of the field looking for one of his receivers doing an out-breaking route. Just out of the hands.
Yeah, just a little bit out of Gaskell's reach. He led him just a little too far towards that sideline. Does bring up a 3rd and 10 on the 17-yard line. And the Loggers still holding on to that timeout, so they do have some options. I'm guessing they're passing here. It's not as though they don't have the time to run. It just happens to be that the run game hasn't worked very well for them thus far tonight. Stick with what's worked for you, and that's probably what they'll do, although 2 running backs lined up right now. That's Walton, number 2, and Williams, number 20. Once again, Parsons, the only receiver out to the right. He's got 2 receivers out to the left. He's looking in the left flat. He's got his man open. He's got the touchdown. Nicholas Williams catching the 6-yarder, jumps into the end zone, and Roth with 3 second-quarter touchdown passes, putting the Loggers up 20-0 with 11 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, basically he's in what I call a power pistol, where you got one guy next to the quarterback and one guy behind him, and both those guys released into the same flat area, and the defender had to choose who he was going to cover, and one of them was left wide open.
So here we go, 11 seconds showing on the clock. For the second time tonight, Vandenberg on to kick a PAT. Missed the last one he attempted. And plenty of pursuit up the middle. I think they might have hit Vandenberg on that play. The kick is up and good. I will assume that if it is in fact against the Red Raiders, the Loggers will decline the penalty, or they can take that one on the kickoff, I believe. Not that it's going to matter much with 11 seconds to go as we wait for the referee's call here.
Yeah, it appeared that the Loggers have woken up a little bit here after first quarter of just finding their way of a 6 to 8 hour trip from Idaho.
Yeah, that long trip back tonight is going to be a lot sweeter if you get a victory, right?
Yeah. Especially if there isn't as much traffic as well.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, if you're tuning in late, this game was delayed by an hour due to the fact that the Loggers bus could not get over here in time. They ran into a traffic accident. Unfortunately, a semi, I believe it wasn't a car, is that what they said, a fire of some sort, right along by, I think it was Fall City, one of the coaches told us, delayed their trip by a couple hours. The bus pulled in here at about 6:40. Kickoff was scheduled for 6 o'clock, so Loggers did not have much time to throw on their uniforms. They stretched for about 5 minutes and got this game going. Game kicked off at 7 o'clock. We've already decided to make a few adjustments as they're going to 12-minute quarters tonight instead of 15. And they're also going to have a 10-minute halftime. So halftime will be shortened tonight, so don't go too far if you decide to give yourself a break and tune out or run to get a bite to eat. Or if you're one of the folks here listening to the game in the stands and you're going to go find a porta potty. That's another story we'll get into in a second here. As that ball is kicked out of the back of the end zone. Yeah, apparently the Snohomish School District is charging the Red Raiders extra money to use the restrooms, and they decided that it was a little too much. So rather than open up the restrooms for everybody, they've locked the restroom doors. So there's a couple porta potties in the corner.
If you've been able to make it through this much of the broadcast and you're here, the porta potties are up there. If you haven't been able to make it through the broadcast, that's fine too.
Yeah, so you got to
pass no judgment.
You've got to walk a little further to use the restroom, and you have less time to do it. So there's no restrooms in the stands. You have to go across the way, and you only have 10 minutes. So and there's only 2 porta potties over there. So if we see fewer people in the stands in the third quarter, we'll understand. They do have a little concession stand open, but yeah, again, the district deciding not to open up the restrooms tonight. And there's Umid one more time. Ramazov catching the ball and going out of bounds. Finally goes out at about the 35-yard line. And I'm sure that, I believe it's Madison Murphy who tweeted us earlier. Madison enjoying watching Umid catch and run on that play. Picks up enough for a first down, and with 4 seconds to go, Galloway back in at quarterback. This should be the final play of the half. Be curious to see what kind of a play the Red Raiders dial up, and they're going to go deep. Galloway looking way down the field, still looking, throwing it as far as he can. He's got a man open at the 15-yard line. That's Brown, and unfortunately, a defender is able to step in front of it before Brown is able to come up with it, and still running. We have flags all over the field. I'm assuming that might be for an illegal block. The defender is still running before finally being tackled at the 29-yard line. We'll wait to see what those flags are.
Well, Callaway had rolled out in the pocket and just hucked that up there just to try to get some air underneath and give his guy a chance. Unfortunately, it gave the safety a chance to get over and make the play. And, of course, when those things happen, there's a lot of peel-back blocks on afterwards that guys get excited about, but they end up decleating a guy, and I think we're going helmet to helmet.
Yeah, that was DJ Turner, by the way, the 5'10", 185-pound safety coming up with the INT. And Turner Brown was open for a brief moment. However, Callaway having to throw that ball a long ways down the field. Ball hung up just a little bit, and by the time it was able to get to Brown, Mr. Turner was able to make up some time and come up with it as we still await the call. And that is, in fact, on the return team, and that will be the end of the first half. Second quarter, all Lewis Clark Valley Loggers, 21 points here in the quarter, and that's our score. So the Loggers 21, the Everett Red Raiders 0. We're going to take a quick break, and we remind you once again, a 10-minute halftime tonight. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
on the sidelines doing it.
The game on Friday night wiped my voice out.
Yeah.
And we are back again. Wiped my voice out, but not enough to where I can't do this, right? One more half of action. If you are an Everett Red Raiders fan, you're hoping it is a much better half than the first one. You are trailing 21-0 at the half, and I know Brian Horn, a.k.a. Big Wheezy, you went next door and you talked to some of the Loggers folks over there. Did you get some stats?
I did. We weren't keeping our own here, but we found out that the quarterback over there, Roth, has been able to spread the ball out to 8 different wide receivers. He's 11 for 25, 168 yards, 3 touchdowns, one each to Joey Walton, Connor Immel, and Nicholas Williams. Rushing-wise, the Red Raiders have been able to keep them on under wraps there. The 10 rushes for -3 yards. Leading receivers for the Loggers have number 14, number 11, 14 with 39 yards.
That's Gaskell, yeah. Number 11 is... That's our buddy Gugliozzo.
Oh, Gugliozzo has 31 yards. So,
and I'll tell you what, for a team that is up 21-0 and a team that scored 3 touchdowns on 3 passes in the second quarter alone, 11 for 25, not a great percentage if you are judging a quarterback. But hey, he's getting the job done. He's marching his team down the field. Seems to have figured something out that he didn't have in the first quarter, and give Roth and the rest of that offense a lot of credit. 3 straight drives, 3 straight touchdowns.
Yeah, it could have been just shaking some of the rust off, but they really found something over the seams in the second quarter there and really tried to exploit it.
So here we go. The second half is underway. The kick return, that's Gugliazza returning that ball from the 15-yard line, gets it out to the 30. It's a 15-yard return, and that is where the Loggers will start this third quarter.
Yeah, quick return to action here after only 10 minutes, so it's probably not a dinner break, really. It's more of a pizza roll break.
Yeah, for the folks at home. Yeah, and again, here there's not a... Well, I think they were doing hot dogs down there below. If you took a break on your own before we did in the second quarter, the bathrooms are locked up here. And we already knew that before the game started. A lot of these folks were just figuring it out at halftime. A lot of them were frustrated, I might add, but that's another story. So, yeah, interesting. That's, I guess, the trials and tribulations of doing junior college football, I guess. Districts aren't always willing to work with you as much as maybe they should be. That's another political story there. But at any rate, everybody's back in the stands and they're ready to go.
Yeah, same with long bus rides, too. I'm sure that's
long bus rides in which a car is on fire.
Right, par for the course.
We'll tell that story in a second here, too, in case you're joining us late, as Joey Walton trying to find some running room and doesn't find much of anything. Yeah, give the Loggers a lot of credit. If you are joining us late, this game was slated to kick off at 6 o'clock. The Loggers did not get here until 6:40. Again, they come all the way from Moscow, Idaho. Apparently a car/semi-fire on I-90 over by Fall City somewhere, and they were delayed by more than a couple hours, I guess. They pulled in at 6:40, had to get their uniforms on. They had about 5 minutes to stretch, and then we kicked the ball off. As it is, they've decided to go with 12-minute quarters instead of 15. They shortened the half. We were wondering how that was going to affect this Loggers team, just getting off a bus and having to start playing a football game. Maybe it affected them a little in the first quarter, no score, but the Loggers came out and put up 21 in the second, and that's where we stand right now, 21-0. And the road team is now looking for more as Roth finds Gugliazza. No, he does not. It goes off of his hands as he was cutting or dragging across the middle there. Couldn't come up with it. It brings up a 3rd and 10.
That's just a simple tunnel screen there where you have the outside wide receiver, number 1 wide receiver. He steps forward and then comes back up underneath the tunnel of the blockers with his lineman, and to the inside wide receiver blocking his guy. And hopefully you get a nice crease there and get some yards, but that was just simply overthrown.
Well, and this seems to be where the Loggers are at their best. We've seen it all night. First down and second down. If we had better stats, we could tell you exactly what they are, but it feels like the majority of their yardage is coming on 3rd down, and a lot of times it's been 3rd and long. This is something that the Red Raiders need to do a better job of tonight, and they're getting their first chance right now. See if they can hold this team under a 10-yard gain right here and maybe get the ball back. Roth looking down the field, has plenty of time, pump fakes, and finally throws it. He gets drilled on the play. Ball is incomplete, as that was number 30 trying to come up with it. The defender, that was Isaiah Lee. Lee from Mukilteo, Washington.
Yeah.
Local guy, and that's going to bring up 4th and 10.
Yeah, he was a little hesitant to throw that, but he get rid of it or get sacked, and he got rid of it and still took the shot. The ball was a little short.
And that will bring out the punt team for the first time in this half. Yeah, let's give a little shout out to Isaiah Lee, a graduate of Kamiak High School.
Fighting Knights.
Fighting Knights, you guys know a thing about them. Well, I guess 3A versus 4A up here, but a little bit closer to...
Yeah, we played them this year.
Almost blocks that one. For your home opener this year, right? Or season opener, I should say.
Yep.
That ball is down on the 37-yard line, a game that you guys won 41-16. Congratulations.
Yep, thank you very much. A home opener and season opener.
So we'll keep it right here. The ball will be on the 39-yard line, which is where the Red Raiders will take over their first possession of the night. Yeah, so it's always kind of fun. We've got a lot of players from around the area here. We've got Getchell. We got one from Pilchuck, right?
Yeah, we have some Lake Stevens running back, Rainier Beach, Getchell, Woodinville, Oak Harbor.
Trey Robinson, we got to see him a lot at Jackson over the last couple of years. He's a receiver on this Red Raiders football team. And a couple of Everett players here representing as well. There's Umid one more time. And number 21, Ramazov, getting across midfield, picks up 13 yards down to the 48. It's going to give the Red Raiders a first down.
That was a great run there, just picking his way right through the traffic and getting upfield.
We didn't see a lot of Ramazov in the second quarter. They were...
well, we didn't see a lot of Red Raider offense, actually.
that's a good point, too. They were running Lyra a lot, though, at the time, and now they've got Ramazov in again. And it looks as though that's been kind of the story all season long, really, as you look at the stats. Coming into the game tonight, Ramazov had 34 carries for 216 yards. Nico Lyra had 37 carries for 190 yards, so only 3 carries difference between the two. So it is a little bit of a two-headed monster attack as Callaway is going to keep this one this time, looking for some room, cuts it back into the middle of the field, is finally brought down at the 41-yard line.
Well, he's really elusive there. He kind of stepped back and actually got himself out of the tackle. The guy was hands reach away from him. He was able just to prevent himself from getting tackled. That was fantastic athleticism there.
And that is going to bring up a 3rd and 3 from the 42-yard line. And the Red Raiders looking to get back in this game. They're down by 3 touchdowns. It would be nice to get something on the board here with 9:28 to go in the third quarter. Callaway readjusts Ramazov, puts him over to his left, hands it off to Ramazov. He's looking for some space, doesn't find much, but he makes a little something out of what was absolutely nothing. Might have picked up a yard. It's going to bring up a very interesting 4th and 2, maybe 4th and 3 coming up here for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, it's Brandon Burlick from the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers. If you're here in the first half, he was wrecking havoc there, but Ramazov was able to get his head down and drive forward for a couple yards when it looked like there wasn't going to be anything there.
And so that will, in fact, bring up a 4th down. They're calling it a 2 up on the board. If it is, it's a very long 2. It looks like they need to get to the 38-yard line. And actually, they've spotted it on the 40. I'm looking at one of the yard markers on the far side, which looks to be a little behind the 40, but the ball itself is on the 40. Callaway with nobody in the backfield. Is he going to throw it? No, he's going to try to run it himself. He eludes the first set of tacklers. He finds some room along the left-hand side and is finally brought down by the shoestrings, but not before he picks up 7 yards and a first down.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier in the broadcast, when you have 5 wides, it's a great opportunity to run if you have a quarterback that can do that, because what you've done is you spread everybody off out in the coverage, and you move the safeties off, you move the outside backers off, and it looked like he wanted to go up the middle on that, but he simply bounced outside where there wasn't anybody. Nice gain.
Yeah, and so now we've got a little bit of a drive going here. 8:28 to go on the clock. Certainly there's plenty of time to get back in this game, and they're going to go deep to Brown. Incomplete. And that should make Carlito Losa happy. He tweeted us a few minutes ago. He wants to know why you're not going after the guy that has 4.3 speed and get it into his hand a little bit more, and that's exactly what they tried to do. Just ran the go route there. Unfortunately, couldn't separate from the DB that time, and the DB played it rather well.
Yeah, I think he actually might have overthrown him, if that's possible, with somebody with 4.3 speed, but I think he just took the snap and threw it up there and hoped he ran underneath it.
So that is going to bring up a 2nd and 10. 8:22 to go here in the third quarter. Red Raiders wearing the home black, still trailing 21-0, looking to get on the board for the first time tonight. Ramazov takes the pitch out to the right, finds a little bit of room, cuts back. He's still going. He's trying to come around to the left, and he's got some space to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
That was just a simple option play there. He came down the line. Callaway came down the line, and as soon as he cleared the tackle, just pitched it off, and Ramazov did the rest. He went from the right side of the field all the way over to the left side. I think he went through all 11 tacklers, and none of them got him.
Ramazov with the 33-yard touchdown run. 21-6, the Red Raiders cutting this lead to 15. And now trying to make it 14 here is number 8, John Higgins, comes on to attempt the PAT.
You know, that was all set up because of the defensive stand early on. They were able to get off the field and not get any penalties, nor, you know, allow any positive yards from the Loggers.
So Ramazov with the touchdown. We'll keep it right here. We do get a timeout by the Red Raiders. That might be costly later on. You're down right now. Again, we're playing 12-minute quarters. You might need those timeouts eventually. But again, Ramazov, the 6'1", 215-pound running back from Kamiakin High School over in Kennewick, Washington, making his presence known with a nice 33-yard run. Started out on a pitch to the right, cut it back to the left, and came all the way across the field, where he finally found room and pay dirt 33 yards later. This game is far from over right now.
Yeah, it's a good design play, because what happens is you spread everybody out. You've basically taken a guy who normally gets the pitch man, and you put him out on the wide receiver to guard a wide receiver, and now he has to make that decision of what he's going to do. And usually he's already taken a couple steps back by the time the ball comes over his way. And Ramazov, with that little bit of space, was able to take it to the house.
John Higgins, the kicker, on to attempt this one once again. Higgins from Shorecrest High School, the Scots. That is a team that is struggling this year.
Perennially.
Higgins could come and kick a field goal there and almost be the season-leading scorer for them. Puts that one up through the uprights. It is good, and it is now 21-7 with 8:09 to go in the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break. The Loggers' lead has been cut to 14. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
We all want to protect our gift of sight, which is why regular eye exams are so important. Regular eye exams not only allow your optometrist to improve the quality of your vision by changing the prescription of your glasses or contact lenses, but also to assess your overall eye health. Even if you see clearly now, it does not mean your eyes are healthy or won't change over time.
And we are back again. The Everett Red Raiders on the board, finally, thanks to a 33-yard touchdown run from Umid Ramazov, the big running back. And that makes the score 21-7. Plenty of time left. We're only 4 minutes into the third quarter of play. We're actually less than 4 minutes in. It's 8:09 showing on the clock. And here comes the kick from Mr. Higgins. Ball is booted down to the 10-yard line. Here comes the returner. That's Walton. Walton finding a little bit of a seam up the middle. It's finally brought down at the 33-yard line, a gain of 23 yards. And we were just talking about it at the break. If you were watching at halftime, you might have seen some aerial footage. It's this is a broadcast team that does local college and high school. You don't get that very often. No, that was not from the Goodyear blimp. It was not from one of us standing on the roof. That was from the Snohomish County Sports drone that old Todd Elvick from the Snohomish Times Sports Network was playing with and flying around out there. And Todd was mentioning that we need to name the drone at some point. Got any ideas for a drone name? You came up with one a minute ago. I kind of liked it.
Mr. Peepers.
Mr. Peepers?
Yeah, he's checking everything out. Never know where he's going to be at.
Sounds a little creepy, but it could work.
It does sound a little creepy.
Trips to the right here. Hold that thought. We're going to try to get some more names here in a minute. Roth throws it over to the right. Incomplete. No, it is caught by the receiver directly behind him. Not the way you drew it up when you were drawing everyone up in the locker room, but Lucky Gaskell has the ball go right through his hands. Fortunately for him, his teammate, Connor Eimel, was right behind him, caught the ricochet, and picks up a first down to the 43-yard line.
Another tripped layers concept over here, and that's why they're both in basically the same spot. One at 5 yards and one at 10 yards, both doing outs. And it went through the guy at the 5 yards and went right in the hands of the guy at 10 yards.
So it's actually better that he catches it. You gained 5 yards on the play and a first down. Right at the first down marker, in fact. He picked up exactly 10. And that could have been very dangerous. If you were the Red Raiders, you were right in the vicinity as well. We get a little bit of an illegal motion there by number 4 on the play. Lining up in the backfield, that was Michael Mendoza. Mendoza, the first time we've called his name tonight, and unfortunately for him, it's on a penalty.
Yeah, and he's running off the field now. Hopefully he's not in too much trouble. He's very excited to get that play off, left a little bit early.
I'm thinking maybe the ball was intended for him. He really wanted to get that ball, didn't he?
Yeah, perhaps it was. It's his time to shine, his shining moment.
His one shining moment doesn't happen yet. But, hey, a lot of game left here. 7:22 showing on the clock. 1st and 15 right now. Roth once again in shotgun formation. Gonna assess the field here a little bit. Still calling out the play. Finally gets the snap. He's looking into the flat. Throws it. Ball is ricocheted and almost caught again, as it was originally intended for number 20, Nicholas Williams. Ball bounced off his hands and almost made its way to Colton Parsons. Colton with a K, of course.
Yes. And basically this is the back coming out of the backfield, looping around, and the guys at the line of scrimmage for the Everett Red Raiders have been falling off into coverage on those guys and been doing a great job. They actually haven't been open that often.
So here we go, 2nd and 15 coming up at the 38-yard line. The Red Raiders in need of a big stop here. They've already gotten 1 touchdown this half. Could make this a very interesting game if they can get this ball back. Roth with an empty backfield, trips to the left, 2 receivers on the right. Here comes the blitz, gets the ball down the field, throws it into a whole slew of traffic. Penalty markers going down as a collision between 3 players, 2 of which were Red Raiders. One was the intended receiver, Anthony Guglioza.
Yeah, and Lincoln Gordon was there to break it up, but I think he was a little bit early. They had 3 defenders in there, and he went up to go get the ball over the top of another guy. And it looked like they kind of solved a little bit of that problem of getting hit over the middle with the ball, but just a little early there.
That should be an automatic 15-yard penalty, and it is in a first down as well.
Sometimes those balls are just hard to time up, and you get there a little early, making a great play on the ball, but just a tad early.
So what could have been a 3rd and 15 is now a 1st and 10. And something we saw in this first half as well is a big penalty wiping out a big stop early on in the second quarter, which resulted in a first down, which became a touchdown shortly thereafter. We'll see what the Loggers can do with this possession. 6:56 to go here in the third quarter. Here comes the blitz off of the right-hand side. Throwing deep down the left side. He's got a man down there, well covered. That was number 30, Isaiah Lee. Mentioned him a few minutes ago. Lee guarding the receiver. I believe that was number 8 over there.
Yeah, and LaFale Collins was coming off the edge there, and I believe he got tackled by the offensive tackle, but they didn't throw a flag. He came flying off the edge, and literally the tackle tackled him.
Yeah, it was Adam McLean was the intended receiver. And Collins, I'll tell you what, he either jumped early or he timed it beautifully. He was around that right-hand side pretty quickly, and you're right. He not only did he get around the right-hand side quickly, he ended up going down to the turf rather quickly after that, and looked like that might have been able to have been called. Nonetheless, the ball falls incomplete. So the Loggers might have gotten away with one in terms of a penalty, but they do not make a completion on the play. Still gives them a 2nd and long, and they're lining up trips to the right-hand side here, the short side of the field. Roth takes the snap, looking down the middle, and he's being blitzed. Finally just throws it away. He does find a man out there in number 2, Walton. Richard Ramsey comes flying up to make the tackle. Walton might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Nice play by Roth to get it off to begin with. Finds an outlet man, Walton, who then gets tackled shortly after.
Really inspired there by the defensive chants from the crowd here, and they put a run on Roth. He just kept backing up as if it was a screen, but he was backing up because of the pressure and barely got that ball off.
Yeah, not a huge crowd here tonight, but this crowd that has shown up for the game is letting their presence be known now. And we get a timeout. We'll take a quick break. 6:20 to go here in the third quarter. Raiders are trailing by 14. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
And we are back, 6:20 to go here in the third quarter. A big 3rd and 9 play coming up for the Loggers.
Let's see if they can get off the field now. The Everett Red Raiders, they were so successful in the first drive of the second half and getting the ball in their offensive. Something that stymied them in the first half is just getting off the field on long third downs.
Defense chant once again. Trips right. Roth back all by himself. Empty backfield. Takes the snap. Here comes the ball over the middle. He's got a man open and completes the pass. That is Walton finding a seam, just getting himself in between where the defenders were not. And the completion is made down to the 17-yard line, a gain of 29, and a huge first down for the Loggers.
That's tough. That's tough. You need to get off the field on third downs. You can't let them convert on 3rd and 10s and 3rd and longs. Again, just finding that seam right over the middle, the sweet spot of the zone.
And we've seen that play a few times tonight by the Loggers, and it's converted a few different 3rd and longs and even a 4th and long for that matter. And it seems to be the difference in this game so far. Like the fact that this fan base here is starting to get themselves fired up a little bit. I think they're sensing that it's go time. If you don't come up with a big stop here right now, time is of the essence, and it's getting away from you here. You need to come up with something. 5:40 showing in the 3rd quarter. The Loggers with a 14-point lead, and they are looking for more. It's Walton in the backfield along with the quarterback Roth. He pitches it to Walton, looks for some space, cuts it out to the left, looking for the sideline, and is gobbled up rather quickly. Nice play there by Stephen Allen, the cornerback, who closed the gap there and did not let him get much further down the field. Might have picked up a few yards, did in fact, we'll call that 5. Could have been a lot worse though had Allen not gotten over there.
Yeah, they actually haven't been able to run the ball very much on the Red Raider defense. It's been a lot of their passing down the seams that have done the trick for them. The Red Raiders definitely very tough on the run today.
So Lennox likes the fact that brother Stephen Allen made a big play there. And we appreciate the tweets. Go ahead and give us a shout out. Steve Willits, STEVEWILLITS. Let us know who you're watching tonight and where you're watching from. We certainly appreciate you tuning in here. As we know, it's late throughout the country. 4:44 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Walton finding a little bit of room along the left-hand side. Lunges out towards that first down marker. Might have come up just a bit short, as it looks like they're going to spot it right about at that 8-yard line. Big 3rd and 1 coming up.
Another little pistol toss to the trip side there. Got a couple blockers out in front of them and hope to get the down blocks and get them out there in space.
They're actually going to spot that now. Just a little bit short of the 8-yard line. We'll call it a 3rd and 2. Again, 4:10 showing on that clock. Going to assume that if the Loggers do not get the first down here, they would probably go for it on 4th down. Trips out to the right. Walton once again in the backfield along with his quarterback, Robert Roth. Roth already has 3 touchdown passes tonight. See if he tries to get a 4th one here. Fakes the handoff to Walton, drops back. He's looking over the middle. He's getting blitzed. Finally throws it up into a crowd and almost intercepted as that ball gets away. That was number 30, Isaiah Lee, on the defense there. Lee doing a nice job of stepping in front of the intended receiver, which was number 9, Connor Eimel. At the very least, to make sure Eimel couldn't catch it, and almost came up with that himself.
Yeah, it's pretty good coverage down there. When you get in this compact space, there's not a lot of room to maneuver as a receiver. And so Red Raiders just stuck with him, and there was nobody for him to throw to. He tried to force it in there, and fortunately for the Loggers, unfortunately for the Red Raiders, it didn't get picked.
And with a 14-point lead down at your 9-yard line, this is generally where you would kick a field goal and just put some insurance points on the board and get that 17-point lead. Might show a little bit of a lack of confidence in your kicking game here as Roth is in shotgun formation here on 4th and 2. He has Walton in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. And it looks as though the Loggers might have jumped, and this is going to push it back 5 more yards.
Well, the Loggers have been going on a double count all night long and trying to get them jump off sides, and also just doing a double count so they can see if there's any blitzes coming. And now they've come out. Looks like with the kicking team, we will see the leg here. Yeah,
Cameron Vandenberg, in fact, is on the field. He's looking at a 30-yard attempt here. You know, one of the best kickers in the nation calls this his home field at the high school level. Spencer Pettit, who's currently listed as the number 8 kicker in the nation. Let's see if Vandenberg can channel his inner Spencer Pettit and get the kick. He cannot. Hooks it to the left.
Yep.
Cameron Vandenberg missing that one, and with 3:43 to go here in the 3rd quarter, the Red Raiders, who are now only down by 14, get the ball at their own 14-yard line.
Yeah, it's definitely it was a good stop. It should have happened a little bit earlier. They got the penalty, but they got the stop nonetheless, and now their offense needs to convert again.
So once again, number 7, Robert Galloway, coming back on to play quarterback. Looks as though he has number 5, Malik Alexander, I believe, out here to the left-hand side. Kind of hard to see those numbers when they're turned sideways from us. Josiah Miller playing in the slot on the right. Has a player now going in motion. He's going to throw a bubble screen to Brown, and Brown just cannot hold on to it. It bounces off his chest, hits the ground. Bounces back up to him, but unfortunately it's not baseball, and you need to catch that one before it bounces.
Yeah, sometimes as a receiver you kind of lose some of your rhythm and you don't get the ball as often and you kind of get a little distracted, but that ball was there. I'm sure he'll make the next catch as he's the leading receiver for the Red Raiders.
Leading receiver who has yet to catch a pass tonight. 13 catches for 310 yards on the year, so he does average 23 yards per reception. I'm sure they would love to get the ball into his hands at some point. Leota up the middle does a nice job to get across the 32-yard line, a gain of 12 and a first down. I'm sorry, that was Lira, Nico Lira on the play. So we mentioned earlier Lira and Ramazov sharing a lot of the carries this year. Ramazov on the last drive with a big 33-yard run. Lira not wanting to be outdone gets a first down on that play and still in the game here as the clock continues to tick with 3:24 to go. Lira takes the handoff. No, he does not. Galloway keeps it, looking for some room along the left and doesn't find much. Is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard on the play. We'll call it a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, he essentially gave a look like he was doing a kind of a draw play and then kept running to the outside.
So 3:02 showing on the third quarter clock. Red Raiders down by 14. 2nd and 11. They're going to throw along the left-hand side there. Did he make the catch?
Austin Bradshaw, I believe, there.
Bradshaw, what a reception at the 47-yard line. A circus catch. 20-yard completion for the first down. Bradshaw, that's a name you know fairly well, right?
Or is that Mitchell Galloway? I'm sorry.
No, we did in fact give it to the wrong player. That's Mitchell Galloway from Orange Park, Florida, making the catch.
Yeah.
Crucial time to make that play as well.
Yeah, that's just dropping it in between the safety and the corner. They've been trying to do that all night and finally got it.
Galloway looking to the right. He's looking in Brown's direction. No, he throws it out into the intermediate area there. I believe that was number 16 on the play, Leon Elliott. Had Elliott running a shorter route, Brown running the deeper route along the right-hand side. Can't quite come up with the catch, and we're going to see a 2nd and 10 here with 2:32 to go in the quarter. Brown lined up all by himself out to the right-hand side. He has man-to-man coverage with number 8, Adam McLean. McLean's done a nice job so far tonight. Lira with the carry over to the left-hand side. Goes off of tackle. Gets down to the 43-yard line, a gain of 4. It's going to bring up a big 3rd and 6 here. 2:18 showing in the third quarter. Should be interesting. We've got Brown lined up to the far right side. Number 47, Josiah Miller in the slot. Also inside of him, number 16, Leon Elliott. Galloway looking for room. He's going to just keep this one. Runs into the middle, dives forward towards the first down marker, and might have come up just a bit short of that mark. Let's see where they spot him.
I think the line judge on this side has him marked a little bit differently. Definitely great athletic play, but everybody turned around in coverage and going deep. He just kind of took the chance and ran.
Yeah, you're right. The line judge on the near side of the field here had him on the 41. The other judge had him a little further back. He did, in fact, get the first down. So nice athleticism by Galloway. Keeps those chains moving, and all of a sudden the Red Raiders, who are down by 14, they're 36 yards away from getting another score here. Here comes Ramazov one more time, looking to run to the left again. This time he's brought down at the 33-yard line, make it the 32, a gain of 4.
He's getting past that initial line of defense, basically because that defensive line is taking themselves out of the play a lot of times. They're just coming straight upfield. So linebackers and the DBs are coming off their guys in pursuit that are making the plays.
So Galloway looking out onto the field right now. He's got Brown out to the right. Ramazov in the backfield with him. Trips over here to the left.
Into the boundary, too.
Into the boundary. He's got Galloway, Miller. He's going to take off running on this one. He's being boxed up and has nowhere to go. Brought down at the 40-yard line. You're going to maybe give him forward progress to the 38. A loss of 5 and a big 3rd and 12 coming up.
I think that was designed to be that option play as well. And what happened is the snap, it wasn't handled as well, and tried to get out there, and there was a little pressure from our good friend Brandon Burlick, who's been making himself known tonight from the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers.
Burlick's name being called plenty here in this ball game as Callaway's got some room to run if he wants it, and he takes off. He's going to get the first down and more. Finally goes out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Boy, is he fast. He gets 21 yards, and it looks like he's barely even moving up the field.
Yeah, basically, and here comes back to Burlick. Burlick essentially took himself out of the play. He went so far upfield that he was able to, the quarterback there was able to get underneath and make that play and had wide open space.
So 15 seconds to go here in the third quarter. I'll tell you what, if the Red Raiders can get in this end zone, you're just going to make for one very interesting fourth. As at halftime, we weren't sure what to expect when the score was 21-0. Galloway throws a little screen pass out to Ramazov. Ramazov finds some space. He's still going, cuts it back, and is finally brought down at the 15-yard line. A gain of 7, which will bring up a 2nd and 3. And on that play, the quarter comes to an end. Do not go anywhere. We've got 12 exciting minutes coming up. The Red Raiders are trailing 21-7, but they're knocking on the door right now. We'll be right back. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network. Here we go, 12 minutes showing on this clock. 1 quarter left to play. The Everett Red Raiders trailing the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers 21-7. But they've scored the only 7 points so far this half, and the Red Raiders are looking for more. A chance to get this game within a touchdown. 3rd and 2 at the Loggers 15-yard line as we await to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, their ability to get off the field on defense there and now execute on offense has really been the difference in the second half.
Galloway in shotgun formation, running an option with Ramazov. He's going to keep it. He cuts it back into the middle. Only picks up 4 yards, but you know what? On 3rd and 2, 4 yards is enough to move those chains. Another Red Raider first down.
That's been a good play for him. They've only run it a couple times here, but you can tell from the way things are set up that schematically that's a good play, and it'd work if he tossed it off to Ramazov or if he kept it himself.
So here we go. First down and 10 coming up from the 11-yard line. 11:32 left in this ball game. Handoff to Ramazov. He cuts back into the middle. He's got some space. Gets pushed forward by one of the defenders. Gets down to the 1-yard line, very close to that first down marker. It's either going to be second and very, very short or first and goal. Apparently it's going to be just about a yard short of the first down. And with 11:11 to go here in the game, the Red Raiders are about 5 feet away from making this a 1-touchdown ball game. Ramazov takes the handoff, lunges forward, touchdown Red Raiders! Umid Ramazov with his second TD of the night. And boy, I'll tell you, Brian Horn, that one was close as the snap went to Galloway, bobbled it up in the air, and it's almost as though Ramazov just picked it off from thin air. Not sure if it was intended to go to him initially or not, but it ended up in his hands, and he converted it into a touchdown.
Yeah, and besides that, he was hit hard at the line of scrimmage and was able to lower his shoulder and keep his momentum going into the end zone. So good job there. It was only a yard, but it was a tough yard. The longest yard, as they would say, I suppose.
The longest.
Sorry about that.
And they've got the longest yard, the original longest yard anyway. Very similar uniforms there. Ball is spotted. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 10:58 to go in this ball game. The Everett Red Raiders once trailed 21-0. They're within 7 points of the lead right now. It is Lewis Clark Valley Loggers 21, the Everett Red Raiders 14. Don't go too far. We'll be right back on the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
We all want to protect our gift of sight, which is why regular eye exams are so important. Regular eye exams not only allow your optometrist to improve the quality of your vision by changing the prescription of your glasses or contact lenses, but also to assess your overall eye health. Even if you see clearly now, it does not mean your eyes are healthy or won't change over time.
And we are back again. 10:58 to go here in the ball game. The Everett Red Raiders, who trailed 21-0 at the half, have come back with 2 touchdowns here in the first 13 minutes of play in the second half. 14 unanswered points. And they're now back within 1 score of tying up this game. But first, they need a big stop here. Loggers taking the kickoff at the 10-yard line. That's Joey Walton. Walton finding some room. He's still running. Fumbles the football.
It's out.
It's out at the 39-yard line. There's a pile. They might have gotten this one back as that one went shooting straight up into the air. Do not see the referee signaling anything, and it appears as though, and in fact, the Loggers have recovered their own fumble. That would have made for an interesting scenario.
Yeah, not exactly sure who laid the hit on him, but that ball came popping out up above his head, and it was free for anybody to grab. Again, you play special teams, you're a different breed.
So the defense needs a big stop right here. 10:50 to go in the game. I have a feeling we're going to hear this crowd get a little bit fired up in a minute. And before we even line up in a formation, I think I was going to say I thought maybe for a moment there we had too many men on the field. That is not the case. As one Red Raider comes off, one goes back on. Did not see what the call was, but it is against illegal substitution apparently.
Yeah, they broke the huddle. They had 12 guys on the field, I believe.
Oh, they did. Okay, so that will in fact be the call. So free yardage there for the Loggers. They now have the ball at the 44-yard line. Roth has 5 receivers, nobody in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, looking to throw. He's getting blitzed, fires it over the middle. The ball's complete, and down the field goes Walton into the end zone. Seam route, 56-yard touchdown. However, we've got a penalty against the offense.
Yeah, that kind of exposed those 2 plays, though, so far exposed what's been difficult tonight for the Red Raiders. The first being the penalties at crucial times, and the second one being the seam route over the top. It's all coming back, so they got a chance to make it right. But you got to correct that if you want to have a chance here, because Walton just walked into the end zone there. He caught the ball again between the hashes, right in front of the quarterback, and just ran it in. Good turn of events here for the Red Raiders, luckily.
They called a pass interference against the offense. I don't know if they called it on, I don't think they called it on Walton. Walton was further down the field. Flag was thrown at about the 45-yard line.
I didn't see any pick routes either.
No, maybe not the best penalty if you are a Logger. I'm assuming that whoever threw that, or whoever was in fact called for the penalty, probably was nowhere near where the ball was thrown. So really an unnecessary pass interference for them. Just cost their team 7 points. If you're a Red Raider fan, you're okay with that. Though not only did you not give up a touchdown, but you pushed them back 10 yards further. It's 1st and 20 now. Roth in shotgun formation one more time. Looking to throw it. He fades back, has to finally roll out to his right as he's being pressured. Fires the ball down the field, gets his man at the 38-yard line. That is Gugliazza. Gugliazza finally brought down at the 41. Make that the 41-yard line. Picked up 7 yards.
Yeah.
Actually picked up more than that. They're going to spot him there at 11 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 9 coming up for the Loggers.
I think he was originally looking to get the shallow cross route from the inside wide receiver, but that was picked up well by the inside linebackers there, and he had no option but to roll out.
So the clock now at 10 minutes even. Crucial part of the game here. The Loggers with the 7-point lead at 21-14, and they have the ball at their own 41-yard line. Would like to find some insurance points here. They have yet to score this half. The Red Raiders, on the other hand, they're looking to stop them and get that ball back. Roth looking down the field. They're going to throw over the middle one more time. Incomplete. A lot of pressure coming up the middle by the defense. Nice job by Timmy Cordova, the linebacker, falling back into coverage there as well, making sure that he was the only one between where the ball was thrown and where it landed.
I think they're doing a better job here trying to get the linebacker back into Tampa 2 type of coverage in the middle of the field, and you got the safeties on the side. But they've been able to exploit it, but every once in a while Everett's been able to get back there and do what they've been able to do.
So a big play coming up here. 3rd and 8. Loggers have shown that they cannot run this football tonight. They almost have to pass it. They've had a lot of success over the middle. Let's see what they do here on this play. Roth with 2 running backs in the backfield with him. Shotgun formation. Throws the ball over the middle. Finds his man, however. The ball falls to the turf. I was being shielded by the pole right in front of us here. I couldn't see where it was, but
Timmy Cordova there came up and laid a lick on him as soon as the receiver touched the ball, and we got a little bit of the Cordova family or Cordova fan club a little bit in front of us. They were pretty happy about that, but now we have a 4th and 8, and the punting team is on the field for the Lewis and Clark Valley Loggers.
so Stephen Allen, number 2, back to return this kick. Mentioned Allen, 5'10", 185-pounder from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm sure he would love to get his hands on this one and possibly tie this game up. He stands back at his own 25-yard line. He might have a shot at returning this as well. Unfortunately, no, it is going to bounce kind of back in his direction. He tries to field it and almost makes a mistake of doing so. Ball gets away from him initially, but he is able to fall on it. Hey, we'll take a real quick break. 9:28 to go in this game. Don't go too far. You are watching the Snohomish Times Sports Network. Back. Here we go. Robert Galloway, number 7. He's been the magic man so far. He's led this Red Raider team on 2 touchdown drives this half. If he can do it again, he could tie this game up possibly. Flag is thrown in the backfield. Ramazov carrying the ball, leaps over one would-be defender. Oh, collides with his own man in the process, and we get a second flag thrown a little bit late as we figure out what's going on here down on the field.
Yeah, they're trying to run that option play again, get Ramazov out in space, make some plays.
A little bit of a conference going on with the referees right now. First flag was thrown where you would normally find a holding call of some sort or an illegal block. Second flag was thrown very late into the pile. We do, in fact, get one holding call against the offense.
They declined the illegal procedure and take the holding call. Going to make a tough road here for the Red Raiders.
So the Red Raiders now 85 yards away from tying up this football game or putting themselves in a position to tie it up. As we've seen many times, PATs are not a given necessarily. The Red Raiders, in fact, have missed 3 this year already. But they are 9:21 showing on the clock. They are 85 yards. We'll make it 84 yards away from scoring a potential tying touchdown. Callaway being blitzed, finds some room to run, and takes off, puts the ball away, dives forward to the 30-yard line, picks up a gain of 14 yards. Huge play there as the Red Raiders are now looking at a 2nd and short rather than the 1st and long they had just a moment ago.
Yeah, Brandon Burlick again from the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers up the field quickly, but Callaway escapes and is able to find a hole in the defense and scramble.
So number 21, Umid Ramazov in the backfield with his quarterback Galloway one more time. They, in fact, are going to hand off to Ramazov this time. He's looking for some room along the left. Can't find much. Breaks through one tackler. Dives forward. Almost gets to that first down marker. Probably looking at just coming up a bit short. Might be looking at about a yard and a half to go here with 8:25 to go on the clock.
I thought he was going to get stopped in the backfield there as he was running laterally. And it was a good pursuit by the defense, but he was able to outrun him and he eventually put his foot in the ground and gain a couple yards to get positive yards where he can.
Yeah, nice job by number 21 to find some space there and make something out of nothing. Big play coming up here right now. Clock now showing 8:04 to go in the game. Ramazov almost eaten up at the line of scrimmage and fights his way forward for a first down and is still going. Finally brought down at the 38-yard line. Give him credit for that first down as he was met in the backfield by a couple of players. Bulldozed his way up the field, gets enough for that first down, keeps those chains moving with 7:55 to go in the ballgame.
Yeah, he had a couple unwelcome strangers there, hit him at the line of scrimmage and was able to put his head down and get some more yards.
So that clock continues to run. This game is getting very exciting now. Galloway looking to throw it down the right-hand side, looking for Brown. He catches the ball, and if he hadn't stepped out, he might have been running still. That is the first completion of the night for Bernard Brown. Gets down to the 38-yard line, a gain of 30 yards, and a huge Red Raider first down.
They'd ISO'd him over here, and he just went out and beat his man. Had to wait a little bit on the ball. If he leads him a little bit, he's scoring.
I'm thinking twin brother Brandon liked that one. I'm sure he's watching from Florida right now. It's after midnight there, so perhaps he's in bed, but if he's still awake, Enjoyed watching his brother make that 30-yard completion. Galloway looking deep one more time. Pump fakes, throws it to Ramazov out in the flat. He eludes one tackler. He's still going and is finally brought down at the 36-yard line after a gain of 2.
I don't think Ramazov is the fastest back you'll find, but I'll tell you what, he's a definitely tough runner, and the first guy is not going to get him down. It might take 2 or 3 or 4 guys.
And did a nice job to keep that play alive. Didn't end up getting much yardage out of it, but certainly fought his way through it. Got number 24, Tyler Watson, in the backfield right now. First time we've seen him back there tonight. 6:45 to go. Galloway looking deep to the left-hand side. He's got a couple receivers.
Oh, I think he came
and he
down
completes it. That's Josiah Miller. Miller with a huge catch down to the 6-yard line. A gain of 31. And the Red Raiders are coming to life here right now. They are getting very close to possibly tying this game up.
Yeah, it's simply just streaks, and he just turned around and made a play. Callaway just put that ball up there. The left-hander just threw it down the field, and Miller just made a play.
Miller throwing on the brakes there to come back to that one a little bit. Secured that ball and got the big first down. Miller still in there on the left-hand side. The handoff goes to Watson. Watson's into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Some fresh legs just come on in and runs up the middle for a touchdown.
Watson making this a 21-20 ball game. John Higgins, the field goal kicker, he's going to try to tie this one up right now. Give Watson some credit, the Mariner High School alum from not too far from here. Getting a crucial touchdown, and with 6:18 to go, the Red Raiders are a PAT away from tying this one up. Higgins with the big kick. It is blocked, and that is a live ball. They can take it back and score 2 if they can get it. The ball is blown dead, and that was huge. The Red Raiders unable to get the PAT up. Give the Loggers some credit. They came through and blocked that one. The Red Raiders still trail, but they're making this a very interesting game with 6:18 to go. Your score, the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers 21, the Everett Red Raiders 20. You are watching the Snohomish Times News Sports Network.
For plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist.
And here we go, 6:18 to go in this football game. It's a tale of 2 halves. The Lewis Clark Valley Loggers with 21 first half points. The Everett Red Raiders with 20 second half points. 21-20 is our score. Difference in this game is a missed PAT just a few moments ago. Joey Walton wrapped up at the 5-yard line. Couldn't field that kickoff cleanly, and it cost him dearly. Gets tackled 5 yards outside of his own end zone. And with 6:11 to go and all of the momentum on the Everett Red Raiders side right now, the Loggers are in a hole.
Let's see if Everett can take advantage of this. In the first half, they were unable to get off the field on crucial downs due to penalties or big plays by the Loggers, but the second half has been a different tale. They've been able to get off and be able to get their offense back on the field, and their offense has been clicking this whole second half.
Crowd is getting fired up right now. They're not big in numbers, but they are loud. And they are letting it be known that they want their Red Raiders to come up with a big stop right here. First and goal from the 5. Roth is no longer in shotgun formation. He's under center. He's going to throw a little bubble screen and skips it to his receiver. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, a step back screen there. Just try to get your guy, get him the ball as quickly as possible so he can get downfield.
We have got ourselves a game. 6:08 left.
I think I'd say the crowd is feisty. How about that?
I would go with that. Yeah, I think there are a lot of things right now. They're ready to go.
Yeah. Still looking for a name for the drone. Mr. Peepers has been the.
We haven't got any other suggestions yet. So you're the. I don't know if Todd will go along with Mr. Peepers, but it's out there anyway. He just looked up here and shook his head at the booth saying, no, that's not going to work. Something a little less creepy. Roth rolling out to his right, throws it in the middle. There's a lot of players around there. Some are wearing black. And the completion. Wow. 5 players in the vicinity, 3 of which were wearing black. And somehow, number 14, that's Lucky Gaskell. And
he was lucky there.
I was just going to say, I hate to use it. We've done it about 3 times already tonight. But in that case, he was, in fact, living up to his name there. Comes away with that ball at the 24-yard line, a big first down.
I don't even think he was the intended receiver. I think the other fellow there was, and Lucky just happened to be there and came down with it. Right place at the right time.
Well, I would love to talk to Roth on that one. I'm not sure there was an intended receiver. He just threw that one into the middle of the field. And fortunately for him, one of the players wearing the same colored jersey as himself came down with that football. That could have gone a lot of different ways. If you're a Logger, though, you like the result. 5:26 to go here in the ball game. Loggers with a 21-20 lead. Roth drops back to pass, throws it down the sideline. Almost picked off. That was number 2, Stephen Allen, who had a shot at it. Floated just a little over his head, and that brings up a big 2nd and 10.
Little miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback, as the quarterback was throwing in one direction and the receiver was looking in the other direction, had to turn his hips and try to get to it, and that's where the defender was.
I should point out the Everett Red Raiders are 2-0 in league play coming into tonight. Lewis and Clark Valley Loggers are 0-1. This is a 4-team league. This is a Red Raiders team that has won 3 consecutive NWJCFL championships.
Very important game here then.
Very important game. They're in huge trouble right now as they're still down by 1 with 5:16 to go. The Loggers have yet to score this half. So far, that 21-point lead they had at the half is holding up barely. They're looking for maybe some insurance right now. Nice defensive play. That ball was intended for number 2, Joey Walton. And timing that one out rather nicely was Levi Diaz Jr., the 5'11", 190-pound linebacker from Ewa Beach, Hawaii.
Oh, very nice. He came across. We had the little crossing route, and he picked him up on the other side. And while Walton looked like he was open for a little bit, you had Diaz Jr. coming down from the opposite direction, separated him from the ball.
5:11 to go here in this football game. Got a timeout. We'll take a really quick break and be right back. You are watching the Snohomish Time News Sports Network. And here we go, Steve Willits along with Brian Big Wheezy Horn getting to call a very exciting football game, a game that didn't look very exciting at halftime when it was 21-0 Loggers. The Red Raiders, however, have scored 20 unanswered points here, and with 5:11 to go, the home team trailing by 1. It needs a huge defensive stop right here, 3rd and 10. Loggers with the ball on their own 25-yard line. 5 minutes and 11 seconds are all that remain in this football game. Here comes the blitz. Roth being pressured, breaks away from one tackler, keeps looking downfield, fires the ball deep, and it is picked off. Number 8 has the football. That's Lincoln Gordon. He's still carrying the ball, gets it all the way back to the 38-yard line. 3 penalty flags come flying in. I will assume that that is going to be called against the Red Raiders on the return. However, more importantly for them, they've got the possession.
Yeah, absolutely. He was underneath a little Roth underneath a little pressure there. Had to flush out of the pocket. Was running down the line and decided to huck it up in the middle of the field. Unfortunately, this time the Red Raiders had some guys there and made a play.
Block in the back.
Block in the back, in fact, is the call. Lincoln Gordon coming up with a huge play.
Yeah, and a nice return on that as well. Aided partially by the block in the back there near at the end. I think he would have still gotten the same amount of yards with or without that block in the back. So.
Yeah, Gordon, the 6', 175-pound safety, a graduate of Cleveland High School in Seattle, Washington. Gordon giving his team the football now, and they've got it 49 yards away from the end zone. They trail by only 1, 4:57 to go. Ramazoff with the football, carries it right up the middle, puts his shoulder down, and barrels his way forward for a first down. gets down to the 37-yard line.
He delivered a punishing blow to the safety there. Safety got low on him. Ramazov not having any part of that. He just ran into him, then ran by him.
Plenty of time here as Galloway gets his team back up to the line here. He's in shotgun formation once again. Ramazov still in the backfield. Hands it to him. Ramazan starts to go to the left, cuts it back into the middle and to the right. Gets forward to the 33-yard line, picks up 5 more yards. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Red Raiders.
One thing they're doing a lot better this half than they did the first half is running the ball and committed to the run. And then making those linemen have to stop their rush up the field, too, for Callaway.
And I'll tell you what, the obvious MVP right now is Robert Callaway. Team was down 14-0 when they brought him in the second quarter. They've since outscored the Loggers 20-7. Callaway's going to keep this one, cuts into the middle, dives forward, and fumbled the football. And it is, in fact, Loggers football. Callaway diving forward, trying to pick up a couple extra yards. Lost the ball, and coming up with it is number 44, Tanner Peterson, the 6'1" linebacker out of Boise.
Red Raiders are going to have to come on the field here, and after a little bit of a letdown, they come back with the same amount of energy here on the defensive side of the ball and get another stop one way or another.
4:08 showing on that clock right now. And this, again, is a team, a Loggers team that has shown that they cannot run the football tonight. This is generally where you'd like to start grinding down the clock. But with your running game going absolutely nowhere, you almost have to stick with your passing game. And all of a sudden, the lights go out here. That's interesting. That's one we didn't expect. So a fumble that we weren't planning on, and then all of a sudden the lights go out. 4:08 to go. I know they didn't pay the bathroom bill because the restrooms are shut tonight and nobody's able to get in there. Did somebody forget to pay the fourth quarter electricity bill?
I think maybe they planned on this game being over by this point and thought that they'd set the timer for it to go off. Hopefully they don't have to make too long of a phone call, or there's somebody on site who's able to turn those lights on. Up here in the booth, we still have power and still have lights. It's just the field lights right now that are off, as you can see.
I don't know if Todd Elvick's got his drone down there, but perhaps we can attach a nice big spotlight to the drone and fly it up there and light up the field for a good 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Or, hey, perhaps we can just pull out a few cars from the parking lot. We've got a big track here, right?
Yeah, actually,
old school.
There's a school, South Dakota School of Mines, that literally on one side has a grandstand, but on the other side has leveled parking where the people can park their cars because it gets so cold in South Dakota. Some people don't want to get out of their cars during the games, so they sit up there and watch it and honk their horns and flash the lights.
You said School of Mines, right? Not Mimes.
Yeah, the School of Mimes. Yeah, Mines with an N.
Yeah, that would be a lot less exciting to watch. Well, it depends on what your tastes are, I suppose.
Right.
If you're into miming, it's a good thing. But
yeah, they only have one home and away jersey. It's the black and white stripe.
Very nicely done.
Big hands.
Well, this is very interesting here. So we've got a little bit of everything going on here right now. My goodness, if you are just tuning into this game, it might be too late for you. I don't know. We're going to see what happens here. But, wow, the Red Raiders driving down for potentially the go-ahead score. One play ago, Robert Galloway fumbled the football. The quarterback turned it over to the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers. Loggers come back onto the field for their offensive play, their first offensive play of the drive, and all of a sudden the lights go out. They're up here in the stands, so we've got plenty of lighting in the bleachers. It's the stadium lights that have gone out, and nobody's really sure what to do right now.
There's some mulling around on the field. The referees are sitting there talking with coaches. A couple people have gone underneath the stadium. Probably some phone calls being made. And while you're at it, if you're going ahead and calling the person about the lights, call them about the bathroom as well. You could have a good crowd there in a little bit.
Well, I just hope that the light switches aren't in the bathroom, because if that's the case, we're in a world of hurt unless somebody can pick locks, because the bathrooms are locked. No chance there, but I'm sure that we'll get this resolved somehow. Yeah, if you are I was going to say, if you're the Loggers, you wanted this to happen about 2 plays ago, because this would have been a nice way to kill Red Raider momentum. However, the momentum shifted to the play right before this. So, are you kidding me? This cannot be. The players are going out like they're shaking hands right now. Did the game just come to an end?
I saw the refs run off and into the tunnel. That's a tough way to finish it. I don't think they'll make it up again, because it's a long drive over.
Let's see if we hear anything here in a moment. 4:08 is showing on the clock. The score is 21-20. Boy, there might be a riot here. These fans are not going to be happy. Their team is down by 1. Yes, they do not have the football, but they've had all the momentum and they've had it going completely their way in the second half. And to not be able to finish off this last 4 minutes and 8 seconds is an absolute travesty.
I might stay in the booth a little extra just to make sure that my safety is...
I have no idea. This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this. You mean to tell me we cannot flip these lights on anywhere, huh?
I'm sure somebody has a switch or has a key to a room or to a box somewhere, but that person is probably at home asleep or watching reruns of Law and Order or something.
Well, you'd think
Murder,
you'd have
She Wrote.
unless they decided they weren't even going to put a facilities person here. Generally speaking, I know at the high school level there's always a facilities person at the game who is in charge of the stadium.
Right.
And right now the Loggers are celebrating as though they've won the game. The Red Raiders look like they're in absolute shock. I can't believe what I'm watching here. I've never seen anything like this, especially in a game that was this close in a fort. And now they've shut off all the lights. The lights in the stands went off as well. The only people that have lighting right now are us up here in the booth.
Yeah,
There's a lot of yelling going on down there in the stands. This is remarkable. I have never been a part of anything even remotely close to this.
No, it looks like we've literally got a blackout. And the field, the stands, and I imagine this is a matter of time before they black out us up here as well.
Well, we're going to stay on here for just a moment until we hear something different. And now the scoreboard goes off, so
yeah,
hey, maybe the parking lot's next. Who knows? What a shame, though. I mean, this is a league game, a game that matters in the standings. Two teams that are obviously fairly evenly matched. They play again later on this year, I think, in the Kiwi Dome. But my goodness, for a game to end like this with 4:08 to go, it's a 1-point game. Imagine if the PAT had been good earlier. Are we going to end this thing in a tie? I mean,
yeah.
You could have made maybe some arrangement to when the teams show up to play each other in the Kiwi Dome, you could finish the last 4:08. I doubt that's the case. Generally speaking, I think there is a college rule at the NCAA level to where if a game is played for X amount of minutes and there's any kind of a weather factor or something that shuts it down, the game at that point can be called as an official game. Certainly with only 4 minutes left on the clock, we've exceeded any kind of a limit, so they can in fact call it. But what a shame to call it with 4:08 in a 1-point game in which the team that's losing has dominated the team that's winning right now for the entire second half.
Yeah, it's absolutely been a very entertaining game. I mean, if it would have been a different story if it was 49-7 or whatnot, but it being 21-20 with 4 minutes left and all the momentum, it was setting up for a beautiful, wonderful end to the game. However, we have been somebody had some other plans for us besides finishing this game. Again, I think this might be partially due somebody put the lights on a timer and thinking we were starting at 6 as opposed to 7. As the timer has gone off, and so now all the lights are off on the field and in the stands. Like we see cell phones everywhere, people trying to light it up like it's like a Journey concert here or something. And yeah.
So can we say don't stop believing if you're an Everett Red Raiders fan?
That's right. Don't stop believing. The other 4:08 of the game is going to be played somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think that is the case. We're seeing players still walking around on the field right now, barely. I'm trying to look through the glass here. It is pitch dark out there.
That was me.
Oh, we shut off. Yeah, good call, by the way. We shut off our lights so we can see down on the field better. Yeah, players are walking off the field right now. Really, the only lighting that we see in the stands are, like you mentioned, from cell phones and from our own crew's cameras and our computer monitors down there. But the players appear to be walking off the field. We have not got any official word yet if this game is being called or if it's being delayed or what the case is. And
I don't know, maybe the drone upset the power plant over there or something like that. I went into some unregistered airspace or something like that, and we're being shut down.
Yeah, whatever the case is, we're not playing football, that's for sure. And
that's unfortunate, too.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen it all. I actually called a game in the fog last year in which we could not see the field the entire second half. That was interesting. This one takes the cake, though, and I was just thinking, could we play it in the dark somehow? Could we get lighting out there?
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise going on down there right now as the referees are still on the field as they now run back towards the locker room.
I think the referees have turned into makeshift electricians, and they're trying to work with whoever is here, or whoever is on the phone to try to do something here. We're not positive, though, but, I mean, the referees haven't totally disappeared. They went underneath the tunnel and into the locker room, then they've come back out. And
none of the players have left yet.
no, there's a lot of milling around and kind of, you know, dismay by a lot of the players. They're not exactly sure what's going on. We got guys still riding the bike down there. We got families on the track.
It's almost as though the game, I mean, I'm watching some of the players now. One of the players is carrying a cooler back towards the locker room, so maybe this game is in fact over. You're right, though. One of the players is riding the bike like he's trying to stay loose. Looking to the to our left here into some of the other boxes, the coaches are no longer in one of the boxes. Our PA announcer has gone downstairs.
I think it might be safer up here. I'm not exactly sure. But
I just don't. We're not gonna leave the area until we have an announcement, because heaven forbid they all of a sudden turn lights on and decide to finish up what has been an incredible game, and especially in the second half. I just feel like we deserve another 4 minutes and 8 seconds. I would have liked to have had this decided under the 48-minute rule that we were playing with going into the night, and not 43 minutes and 52 seconds, which is where we're at right now.
Yeah, but isn't this the kind of the antithesis of the Northwest, you know, like of junior college football here a little bit? You know, you're working with other people's schedules, you're working with other people's things, and you're just trying to make it happen and trying to make it go. And these kids are out here laying it on the line for a chance at the next level, and in order to keep their dream alive. And there's bus trips that last for 8 hours when they should last for 5 hours. There's
bathrooms that are locked
when they should be unlocked. You know, there's lights that go out when you're in the middle of the game at a very exciting, very good game that we all wanted to see the end to. So I mean, this is kind of the deal, I think, a little bit when you're working with those schedules.
So, you know, Willits, I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick break. Again, do not go anywhere. We might not be done yet. It's not looking good, but, you know, we're going to get you updated. So we're going to take a 60-second break. We'll take a commercial. We'll be right back. You're watching the Snohomish Times News Sports Network. Okay, we are... Let us know when we're back on the air here, Todd. And we are back again. So this is unofficial, but this is what I'm being told by some of the coaches next door to us. And we're going to take another break in a moment to make sure that I really get confirmation on this. But what I am being told right now is that when these two teams meet again in the Kiwi Dome, and I'm looking for the schedule here as I say this, again, the score when the lights went out, the score was the Red Raiders 20, the Lewis Clark Valley Loggers 21. So the Loggers had the lead. They had the ball, 1st and 10, with 4:08 to go in the ball game. And all of a sudden the lights went out here at the stadium. All of the players have walked off. They're in the locker room. We are now being told that this game, when they play at the Kiwi Dome in Moscow, Idaho, and I'm looking for the schedule for the date of that. I had it here somewhere earlier. when they do, in fact, play that game again, they will finish off the final 4 minutes and 8 seconds. I'll even go to the... So if you are a Red Raider fan, and I'm not going to leave here before we get confirmation on this. We want to make sure we're telling you the correct info. But this game may not be over. This game might be getting finished later on down the road. Oh, here we go. The schedule. So these two teams are scheduled to play again on Sunday, October 19th. It is a 1 p.m. start time at the Kiwi Dome in Moscow, Idaho. So presumably what they're going to do then is when they get to that game, when they start the game, they will start it. I think they're making an announcement right now. They're planning on playing the final 4 minutes and 8 seconds at the Kiwi Dome that day, concluding that game, and then they will start the next game and play a full second game that day.
Well, you know, for us, it's a little difficult tonight. We would love to see the finish, but at least for the kids, and they're able to get out there and they're going to be able to finish this game because, like we were talking earlier, this is a very important game.
It's a huge game
in the standings for them, for both teams, and it being 21-20 with 4 minutes ago is a game that's still in doubt, as opposed to another game that was maybe 35-0 or whatnot.
Okay, we're going to take another 30-second break. We're getting some more information here. We're going to get that information to you in just a moment. Keep watching. You are watching the Snohomish Time News Sports Network. And we are back again from a dark Snohomish Veterans Memorial Stadium where the score right now was 21-20 with 4:08 to go and the lights went out. And Tim Dennis, the head coach, is coming up to join us right now. I believe we've got a microphone here for Tim as well as we tune him up here for one moment. And Tim's going to give us confirmation on what we've been told anyway. So let's make sure this thing works. Tim, I'll have you grab that. First of all, thanks for joining us. So, Tim, give us confirmation. We are being told right now, and you tell me if this is right or not, the game will be resumed at the Kiwi Dome in October. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Unfortunately, Lewis and Clark got caught behind a fatality. I-90 was closed, so they got here real late, and we weren't able to finish. As you can see, the lights are off, so we will be finishing up this game at the Kiwi Dome with the 4:08 left on the clock.
Was there a facilities person at all from the stadium that gave you guys any kind of clarification as to what happened? Or we're assuming that the lights were probably on a timer, thinking it was a 6 p.m. start. Is that in fact what happened?
That's correct. The school district has an agreement with the houses in the area that the lights will be off by 9:30 on weeknights or work nights. So they have them on a timer. 9:22 they go off. That's understandable because these guys are getting blasted over here with the lights.
Absolutely,
so, yeah.
Which it's just a shame with 4:08 to go, and it's such a game that was obviously it's very crucial to the standings, and two, not only that, but I'm sure you're very frustrated right now. You guys had, besides the fact that you just turned the ball over the play before that, you had a ton of momentum going, all of the momentum really in the second half, and to start a game up again at the 4:08 mark a month from now, you can't take that momentum with you over the next month, right?
No, but we've got to be ready. We had a pretty rough week of practice. We had some injuries. We didn't have a lot of guys at practice for one reason or another. So we've got to change that. That's the biggest thing. And we've just got to start fast. This team is, we're supposed to come out and start fast, put these teams in a hole, run them into the ground so that we can grind it in the second half, play with the lead. And we haven't been able to do it this year. It's been really tough. Yeah,
and I was going to ask you one more question about the Kiwi Dome thing before we go back to this game. But so is it your understanding you guys would finish that 4:08 up? Would there be a break in between games generally? Or
I would say maybe less than 10 minutes. I mean, it's not much time left on the clock.
And then just get right to it.
Go out and do it. Yeah, these guys are young and conditioned. They can handle it.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about tonight's game now. You fell behind early in the first half. It seemed one of the biggest differences, obviously, seemed to be that once Callaway came into the game, kind of created a spark. Was that intended from the get-go? I know he was your starting quarterback at the beginning of the season before an injury. Was it more of an injury-related thing as to why he was on the bench, or did you just feel like Damari was playing well?
Damari has been playing pretty well for us, but Robert did miss yesterday, and Damari is our all week, and we're going to start with the guys that are there every day. It really comes down to get to practice, then you'll be in the game. Robert probably gives us a better option because he's such a good scrambler. But Damari he's done a great job for us this year, and he's going to get as much time as he's been getting. So, but probably for going forward, Callaway is going to be the starter right now.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys, the difference also on defense was your ability to get off the field on third down here in the second half. I mean, they had one drive where you weren't able to get off at third down, but in the first half, you guys were doing a fantastic job on stopping them at first and second, and even sometimes third down. I think they converted to fourth down as well. So what was the changes there at halftime, or what happened that you guys were able to do better in the second half?
Well, it really came down to playing smart football and not having penalties. I don't know how many times we had penalties on third down tonight where, we gave them a first down or even fourth down, gave them a first down on penalties for not playing with our heads on our shoulders, stupid personal fouls, guys just not thinking. And we didn't do that in the second half, and the result was a lot better for us.
Yeah.
Stopping the run really all night long. Very stingy up there in the front. Was that something you knew coming in you would have a strength with, or?
That's kind of our strength on defense. We do a good job of getting to the ball and trying to get 7, 8 hats towards the ball at all times. They were able to pass on us. I think they kind of went away from the run pretty early, it looked like, and they exposed us in some of the middle passes across the middle of the field.
Yeah, that was one thing we kind of noticed a little bit. They kind of did that. They worked the seam a lot, right in the center, splitting the safeties and getting up there. They were able to do that. Did you guys tighten it down, try to keep an extra guy there, drop a linebacker? Or?
Yeah, we brought a corner in to play some outside backer for us. Went more to a nickel or a dime look, and we definitely got better in the second half. Another one of our issues is not getting pressure to the quarterback enough. If we get to the quarterback quicker, then the ball's got to come out, or we're going to get a sack, and that's something we really have to get better at, is putting pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, and again, just the season in general, you guys have won this league 3 straight years in a row. And this is a tough league anyway, in the sense, or tough schedule, in that really 1 week you're playing a team that's comparable to you in terms of the JUCO, and the next week you're playing a 4-year school. Right. I mean, how do you go about judging progress? I mean, are you seeing progress from week 1 to week 4 now, or how are you feeling as far as how the team is doing right now?
If we get guys to practice, I think we would be progressing where we should be. This week we just, the not having guys at practice at times, it really doesn't allow for the quarterbacks and receivers to get into a groove. We actually started a corner at receiver tonight because we had a guy that was supposed to be our starter miss practice. So, it really just comes down to getting guys there, being in rhythm. And
when we started to see rhythm in the second half. So again, kind of a strange situation for me. Normally when I'm interviewing a coach after a game, I'm interviewing a losing or winning coach. You are, if you're just tuning in, the lights went out with 4:08 to go in the game. You guys are trailing 21-20. You scored all 20 of your points in the second half. So should be an interesting finish in the Kiwi Dome. But first and foremost, you've got Eastside coming up next week. Do you know much about those guys?
Yeah, week after next.
We
have an open date next week.
That's right, okay.
We played Eastside to open up the season on August 30th, and we beat them 29-8. We didn't play very well. We kind of let them hang around in the game, but we've got to be ready to go and come out and put it to them, because we still have a chance to win this league, and that's our goal.
Absolutely.
You got a chance going over to Idaho to win 2 games.
That's right. 2 games to 1. That'll make the trip worth it, I'll tell you, because I got to stay over at some hotel in Pullman, and I'm not too thrilled about it. But maybe I'll get to go to the Cougar, whatever the hamburger joint is over there. But it would be great to come out, especially to be able to finish this game with a win over there. Would obviously be a huge momentum for the second game that we've got to play.
No, absolutely. Well, Coach, I will let you go. I know it's been a very long and tiring day. A little bit of everything going on here. The hour delay for the start. Now we've got a delay with 4:08 to go. But again, hey, congratulations to you guys on what's been a very successful past 3 years and going into your 4th year here, and continued success. And we look forward to seeing what you guys can do right back here in 2 weeks against Eastside.
Eastside, 6 o'clock on September
12th. So we had October 12th. So we certainly encourage people to come out to that game and keep rooting on the Red Raiders.
Thank you guys very much.
Thanks, Coach.
Right.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too, Coach. So we're going to wrap this thing up right now. So again, your not so final score tonight, with 4:08 left in this game, the Red Raiders are trailing 21-20. The lights go out here. We got hour delay from the bus not being able to get here with the Loggers team on it. Started the game late. Lights go out. Team is trailing by 1 with 4:08 to go in the game. These two teams are playing again on October 19th at the Kiwi Dome in Moscow, Idaho. They will resume this game right where it stands right now with 4:08 left on the clock. So the Red Raiders have a chance to go over and maybe get a win from this game tonight on October 19th, and then 10 minutes later they will follow it up and play this very same Lewis-Clark Valley Loggers team that day. And yeah, what can you say? It's been an interesting night.
Like you said, the second half was all every Red Raiders, and they were able to get no momentum, but you obviously can't pack that up in your suitcase and bring it to the Kibbie Dome. So it'll make for an interesting Sunday over in Moscow, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So hey, for Josh Elvig, for Todd Elvig, and everybody else with the Snohomish Times News Sports Network, it's been a lot of fun tonight, and this game is not over, folks. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on what's going on. Certainly, Google Everett Red Raiders. Follow their website. We'll try to get you some more information. If I get any more tonight, I will certainly send that out via Twitter. But again, our score here at the end of the night, and the game is not a final. The Lewis Clark Valley Loggers 21, the Everett Red Raiders 20, with 4:08 to go in the fourth quarter. A game to be continued on October 19th. Brian Horn, a.k.a. Big Wheezy.
Good to see you, Steve.
Thank you, sir. It's been a lot of fun doing this game with you, and hopefully this won't be the last time we do this. And certainly you can follow us if you're from the area throughout the rest of the football season. You'll be coaching your Marysville Pilchuck Tomahawks.
I will. Hopefully deep into the playoffs, I hope.
Yeah, you guys are looking good to win that 4A Wesco division. I was going to say North, but it's or 3A North division. And yeah, we'll be covering all of our games also on the Snohomish Times News Sports Network and also Sound Live Sports Network. So we're going to sign off now. But again, thank you for watching tonight. From Snohomish Veterans Memorial Stadium, you've been watching Everett Red Raiders football.